get deep. Going deep. Chad and JT. Chad, who's your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is the full moon. Last week, before this, I wrote this beef down when we were supposed to meet last week, and I was feeling like lethargic, and just kind of off. And I kept saying nostalgic, thinking that meant lethargic.
Oh yeah, that's.
I was
dumb.
like, dude, I just feel so nostalgic right now. So I thought I had COVID because everyone's getting COVID. I'm like, dude, I know I have it. Like, something's off.
I'm nostalgic, and they were like, for last year.
Yeah, dude. I was like, I just can't stop
the
thinking.
original pandemic.
I can't stop thinking about Disneyland.
Right.
Then I saw my buddy, who's a big time Venice guy. He's like,
sick title,
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
Nick
like,
George?
Yeah. And he's like, bro, it's got to be the full moon, brother. The full moon's got you, dude. And I was like, yeah, dude, it is the full moon. That's what's because there was like 5 days. And now I'm like, dude, I think it was the full moon.
Yeah.
So that's my beef.
That's good beef. You were in that headspace too. Like when we talk, you'd be like, I think I have COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was. Yeah, dude, I felt off. I was like, something's off. And
Yeah.
I got tested a bunch of times. I was like, and then, but then, you can't get tested for the full moon. You just got to look up.
Well, I think this is good for like anybody watching or listening. Like if you think you've got COVID symptoms, it's most likely the full moon. Don't waste money on the Abbott test. If they even work, if there is even a pandemic, it's probably just the full moon.
And that's the thing. The CDC won't tell you that because they can't make money off the moon.
Right.
Dude, yeah.
Yet.
They're probably trying to monetize it.
For sure.
Yeah. Dude, if the CDC director was like, look, we have a harvest moon right now, relax. I'd be like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
she's like, look,
dude.
we got a harvest moon and it's going to bring about COVID-like symptoms, but this is not the virus.
I'll wait for Neil Young's Harvest Moon. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude.
You guys know what I mean?
How was that Fauci impersonation? That was my first time trying it.
Oh, that was you doing
That was
Fauci? That was
good.
good.
You guys
I wasn't
like it?
clocking
Yeah.
it, but it was solid.
Dude, thank you guys.
Like seamless. I didn't even. Yeah.
Dude.
Thanks, brother.
Do you have a Fauci impression?
Get on that mic, hit it.
Because it'll be cool to hear it through like a different.
You got the COVID. You gotta don't get tested, or get tested a lot.
Yeah.
You know what? It's
Say
a
it's
little
the full moon.
Sopranos-y, but I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, say it's
I feel
the
like
full moon.
Sill's talking to the world
It's
about
a
it.
full moon.
That's pretty good.
Do you have one?
I'll do one.
Please, dude, thank you.
Yeah, because I feel like we're doing it now. It's kind
I
of like
pimped you out. Yeah.
It's the full moon. It's affecting people. You just close your eyes. You put a mask over your eyes, and what we think we know is that will help you.
Look, if you've been exposed to the full moon, it is your responsibility
That's better.
to stay out of the moonlight.
Yeah.
You got to get inside and you got to stay away from the moonlight.
You're hitting the intention. I didn't do that. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, like the direction, like
Yeah.
telling people what to do.
Because he was on his heels at first, like, okay, I tell people what's going on, but now he's like leaning in. He's kind of more aggressive because he's like, fuck this.
And he's polished. He's done about
Yeah.
6 billion things.
You cannot spread the full moon. You got to wait it out. It's 5 days. You cannot spread it. Don't worry about distancing. It's the full. This is like 5 years from now. Don't worry about distancing. You don't have to get a vaccine.
What we're dealing with now is a supermoon. It's different. It's new. What we think we know is that it's not actually closer. It's just brighter.
It's shining brighter.
It's just shinier.
The moon is shining brighter. And we know why and we know how. But we can't stop it. So it's up to you to have mitigating choices that will help us with the moon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you, Cardi B. It was nice coming on your Instagram Live.
Thank you, Cardi B. Look, we got a blue moon, guys. We got a blue moon. If you're shitting blood out of your ass, that's the it's the blue
drinking too much
moon.
blue moon.
Yeah, you're drinking too much blue moon. It's not the beer. It's the thing in the sky. It's the lunar object.
The only cure is Shock Top. It's back. You put an orange slice in it. The vitamin C. God, remember having a first shock top and being like, whoa,
It's so good.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then you drink 2 in one night and you're like,
Yeah, it's so
I'm
true.
going to vomit
Yeah.
now.
But when you first taste, you're like, this doesn't even taste like beer. This
Right.
is like a sweet treat.
And what? That's an orange on there? You see, they put an orange on there.
Yeah.
Like, it was such
Not
a
lie.
revelation.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't ready for it.
Oh, my God.
Who's
How do,
your-
do we feel okay about when you see the waiter or the waitress, like, they, like, press the lime too far down so, like, the finger gets in the bottle of, like, a Corona?
It is weird.
Or is it just kind of like a when in Rome?
For me, I don't mind any of that shit. I'm
Yeah.
like, just get your shit on there.
But they also kind of took it away from you. Like, that you
Oh,
wanted to do
right,
it.
That's kind of
right.
nice.
But
for you
I
to
know
do
where
it.
you're coming from, but
Yeah.
No, it's a good point. Depends where I'm at.
And
If I'm
then
in
you-
Miami, I let it go. If I'm in LA, I'm like, hey, that's my lime to play with.
and do you drop it in and then just kind of drink? Or do you drop it in, do the upside down with the thumb in it thing?
No, I don't do that.
What is, why are, this seems so like,
It's over.
You know, I've tried to do
unnecessary.
that, and I always fuck it up, and I just spill all over the floor.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. I'm just
Did
gonna
you just burp
pressurize
talk?
the bottle.
Yeah. It's
Seep. This dude was seeping.
That's the blue moon. That's coming in. There's something called carbonation in the beer.
Oh boy.
Who's your beef of the week?
Man, can we skip me and I'll like think about it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll get one.
My beef of the week is that with the revisionist history on the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Now, growing up, I just knew the Red Hot Chili Peppers as a killer band. But now, because they have that like very distinct sound, people just make fun of the like bop bop ba dop ba dop ba dop dop, and then they kind of make them seem like they were just like a novelty act or something like that. But that was not my understanding of them as a group. To me, the Red Hot Chili Peppers just fucking rip. I saw them at Weenie Roast like 3 years in a row. They got talented musicians at each spot. I mean, they've had different, guitarists, but when it's Frusciante and it's Flea, I mean, those are high level performers. So
Right.
I'm just saying, similar to Hasselhoff, but actually I would even put it a level above. I'd say put some respect on their name. Like the Red
Right.
Hot Chili Peppers, bring it, dude.
Does who does? No, I'm thinking of Foo Fighters. Pat Smear joins, or does Pat Smear also play with?
I don't know Pat Schmear.
Pat Smear was like,
My mom
he
got
kicked
one
it
of
with
those.
Nirvana way back in the day, so I think maybe it is Foo Fighters. But I want to say he was in a video with the Red Hot Chili Peppers dudes. Yeah, I don't know, forget it. But yeah, Chili Peppers, they get a bum rap. I feel like they got the douchebag thing.
Exactly.
Like but they also just never apologized in the way that Mark McGrath did, because I don't think they let it get to them. I think they powered through, and eventually they'll be looked back on as a legit band.
They have integrity. They don't wink at their own shit. They're not like, oh yeah, our music's goofy. They're like, no, we're artists and this is art.
And
bro.
they're in a tough spot. They're so big. Like U2, Green Day, all these bands who started out as just a few dudes starting a band and like ripping it and coming up with an original sound, then become like their own worst enemy in a way.
It's so true.
And then it's easy to make them like the joke because everyone will get the joke. You can't make a joke about Deer Hunter or like some like obscure small like Destroyer, like a smaller band, because
Right.
not everyone's gonna get it. But if you make a joke about a huge band, everyone will get the joke. So it's ripe. It's easy.
Yeah, it's like they come up with this original thing and we love them for being original, but then once we understand like the basic beats of what they're doing, we're like, oh, that's so lame that they always do that thing. It's like, right, but
Right.
it's because you're used to it. Like
Right.
they had to come up with that, and that's the artistic part of it.
Yeah.
It's almost like it has to happen to every legend. You know, Keanu, Nicolas Cage,
Right.
Nickelback.
Yeah, and they sometimes they power through. I feel like Keanu's a perfect example of someone who just powered through and was like, yeah, hilarious. I'm a meme. Sorry, I just made like really cool movies and like was unapologetically like not the like gonna get an Oscar, right? But like made really fun movies and was a movie star, and he's powered through. Whereas like Tom Cruise kind of pandered for a minute, but then was like, this is useless. I'm just gonna power through. And now he's made some of his greatest movies with these fucking
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible movies. You can't deny how good these movies are.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They're amazing, and they have no right to be. They're Mission Impossible movies.
yeah.
But then you go see them, you're like, fuck, this is amazing. This is great. And now everybody's kind of like, yeah, I'll do a Mission Impossible movie. I'll get in that movie. But yeah, Chili Peppers, I was never like the biggest fan. And I did have that kind of like, I'm going to keep them at a distance. But like those first few chords of Scar Tissue come on. Are there any more recognizable opening besides like that and Blind Melon's
No Rain?
No Rain, where it just goes boom, 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 and you're like, whoa. And then and then Blind Melon with the fucking very similar. You're like, oh, I guess the next 3 minutes of my life will be spent listening to this song. Right?
They hook you. Yeah, I'm not blaming someone for hooking me.
And where is this beef? Where are you watching a documentary on it or something?
Dude, I don't even know where I came up with it.
We were talking about it the other day.
It might have been that.
Or
And
were
so
we
like
talking about it? Or
people
was I talking
who
about-
watched it or
I just did a quick it might have been HBO's doing all these docs, and I'm like a big Bill Simmons fan, so I like kind of like
Right.
I watched like, and they're not even totally related to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but I was just watching like the Alanis Morissette one and then the Juice WRLD one, and it just had me thinking about music, and I was like, man, I feel like Red Hot Chili Peppers are kind of like getting punked a little bit publicly, and it's not fair to what I have experienced with them throughout my lifetime.
Right. I mean, these are also guys who did like funk, and like
Little cultural appropriation.
Yeah, and like
or large cultural appropriation.
cultural appropriation is it's like, but they were in it. Like say like Beastie Boys were white dudes doing rap, but they were like in the park. They like went.
It wasn't
to
cynical.
it.
Like they really believed in it regardless of the viability of it.
Yeah, and they also like worshipped the culture in a way that like they were outcasts at a certain time until they were cool. Like they weren't cool. They were uncool hanging out at these places until they came into their own and made it cool. And then you have people like 10 years after them doing it like a Vanilla Ice who you're like, well, now you're just seeing that there's money in this.
It's opportunism.
Yeah. So like, the Chili Peppers in what? The early or mid 80s are like huge Parliament fans and like they're deep into it. Like a lot of white kids really weren't. They seemed like they were super duper into it and just jamming out to it. Then because they live in a place where white people are like, well, I need a white person to kind of introduce it to me because then it's safe. They made a bunch of money off of it, but I guarantee you those dudes are like super down with those guys, and you know what I mean?
No, and if you talk to them about it, it would be genuine fandom. Like they would have like
For sure.
They would have like deep cuts.
And
of
I
like,
bet George Clinton is like, oh yeah, those are my guys. They were like the crazy fucking white dudes who were like, why are you here?
And when they talk to George Clinton, I bet you they're deferential and have real respect. Like if George
Without
Clinton
a
was
doubt.
like not treating
Because they
them-
know they owe everything.
exactly. I think they're authentic in it.
If you
Yeah.
listen to Beastie Boys lyrics, the rappers that they're talking about, like Busy Bee and Schoolie D, like nobody knows who they are.
Yeah.
It's deep cuts.
It's the deepest cuts, and they saw them live in the basement of some fucking apartment complex way back in the day, and they're rapping about them in like 15 years later when no one else is rapping about them and no one's asking them to rap about them. They're just like, yo man, like we're this because we saw Run DMC and all these other guys coming up, and we're still like passing the mic because that's who we came up on, and like the transparency is fully there.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. I think it's like,
That being said, I don't fucking know.
well, you can still criticize. No, you can still criticize them for it, but I do think it makes a difference if there's like, if it's real. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
when you talk about Vanilla Ice, it's like a record producer was like, hey, if you sound like this could be huge. And Vanilla Ice is like, I
Right.
want that. But the Red Hot Chili Peppers went to the record producer and was like, hey, this is what we love.
Right.
And we want to do this iteration of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And by the way, like Eminem, he has no problem. He has full credibility.
Kendrick
because-
Lamar says like Eminem's like is like one of his biggest influences.
Exactly. And like Mac Miller, R.I.P. Like these are people who like put in the work and were in the culture before they were like, oh, I'm gonna make money off of it.
And they weren't vultures. I think they were genuinely like they would live in that even if there wasn't fame on the other side of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man. Let's go.
Yeah. But yeah, Chili Peppers, what's their... And this is a whole other thing with these bands who have been around for 40 years. You know, even Scorsese, I know you're a movie guy, he's got some fucking clunkers,
Tons.
right? And,
Silence, bro. That's what was happening in the theater when we watched that.
whoa.
Silence. That
Dude.
shit sucked. Bro,
Mic-
he's just so Christian,
Mic
man.
drop. But like, there's been some clunkers, and they're getting old, and it's definitely not cool to be like an old dude running around in your underwear playing bass. But like, I guarantee you, people are gonna come around and be like, "This fucking old guy runs around in Jordans and underwear and plays bass. I wish that was my grandpa or some shit."
They're gonna be legends.
You know?
They are legends.
Yeah. Best album though, is it Blood
Blood, Sex, Sugar Magic.
Yeah. And it's funny for me because like I was in high school when Stadium Arcadium came out and stuff like that.
Right.
So even though that's not their best album, that was the one that was like the soundtrack for my summer.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like
That was the first Chili Peppers album I ever bought.
it was huge. Wasn't it a
'Cause
double discer?
It was double disc, and I had just moved to LA, and I was like, I'm in LA. This seems to be like the culture. Da da da. There were still record stores, and there were signs for it everywhere. I was like, I'm just gonna give it a shot. I listened to it a bunch.
Nice, dude. Thanks
Listened
for
to it a
saying
bunch.
that.
I didn't buy an album after, but like, those dudes rip.
I think that was their last like kind of relevant album for sure, where
Yeah.
they were still like in the zeitgeist.
Which
They
one?
just kind of aged out. Stadium Arcadium it
Oh,
had
right.
like
Yeah.
Danny California and like
Yeah.
Tell Me Baby. It
I
had
mean,
some hits on it.
Californication and Scar Tissue are
That album ripped,
Under
dude.
the Bridge.
Under the Bridge is undeniable. If
Yeah.
I've been telling everybody this because I just did it and it was fun. The Rolling Stone magazine 500 greatest songs of all time.
They redid it.
They just redid it, and I listened to it, and it's fucking great. And there's some songs like Under the Bridge is on there. Scar Tissue's not on there, and I was like, Scar Tissue is a massive song.
Mm-hmm.
And Scar Tissue is a good song. I thought it should have been on there. Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe's not on there.
Poison.
When a Man Loves a Woman by Wilson Pickett is not on there anymore.
Interesting.
There's a bunch of songs that you're like, why isn't that song on there? And then there's like a, no disrespect to, what the fuck is the guy's name? The like British pop star guy who's,
George Michael?
no, he's young.
I know.
young guy. He
Never
was-
gonna Rick Astley.
No, young guy, new guy. He was part of like,
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles. Thank you. Like Harry Styles. Okay. You're good.
They had a Harry Styles song on there?
There's a Harry Styles song on the
like
500
You
greatest
or Watermelon Sugar?
Watermelon Sugar.
It's a good song, but just compared to the songs that you're talking about, and I don't even think this is my age. I think it's just not even in the same realm as those
Watermelon
songs.
Sugar, which I had never heard before, but just seeing it, I was like, I gotta hear this song. And to me, I wasn't like, whoa. I was like, all right. But it was above Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie.
Get the fuck
Wow.
out.
And I was like,
Was it really?
what are we doing here, Rolling Stone? Is this trolling?
Do they even believe that? They don't believe that. The
It-
people,
was it-
They
was
can't be. There's
No.
they
Was
had
it-
to
was
do
it
that
po-
on
It was
purpose.
political. Do you think?
I think they're just trying to stay relevant.
I
with
think
young
they were
people.
trying to
Right.
have people talk about it on the podcast.
Oh, that's true. That's
I mean,
true.
right? What are you doing?
That's what you're saying.
And by the
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
I want to say that Under Pressure was like only in the first 50 from 500 to 450, which seems kind of crazy. It's a fucking awesome song.
It's and
I would say 300s.
What's number one?
Respect Aretha Franklin.
no, not the best song of all time. And also, the first time they did it, they did like a Rolling Stone, which is hilarious because it's like they're paying.
Yes.
They're like just being like, it's got Rolling Stone in the
Right.
title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was, super honky, super duded out. This one's heavily revised. What's hilarious is a very tremendously good song is number 2, but it's not. Fight the Power,
No, this
Public
is like,
Enemy,
this is such a
Interesting.
corrective to their last
top
list.
50, top 50. It's number 2. Number 7 or 8 is a banger, but I just don't know if it's top 10.
What
Get
is
Your Freak On, Missy Elliott.
What?
What?
Yeah.
No,
Dude.
they're trying too hard.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, there's
by the way,
I gotta
that
pull
is my college years. It is an absolute banger.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's better than
Well, you don't really listen to. You're like, this is good for freak dancing in 7th grade.
right.
You don't listen to that. and
Like
think, this is art.
Blackstreet No Diggity,
Exactly.
which is not on the list.
Which
Or is it? Maybe it is. But anyway.
I would argue that should take the place, because you listen to Get Your Freak On, you don't think this is like a serious movement in the culture.
Look, here's what
This is
here's
me just pressing my 7th grade boner.
yeah, which is also formative, and those people who are making the list,
Good call. Yeah.
they're like, hey, that was what I was pressing my boner.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be top 10. Look, I get it. Missy Elliott, one of the greatest female rappers of all time. Timbaland, one of the greatest producers of all time.
Yeah. Good call.
It was a sound that we'd never heard before. And look, Timbaland, so prolific, he's got to be in the top 20 with something.
Yeah.
Promiscuous Girl, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Promiscuous is. I would put that above Get Your Freak On.
Yeah. And then Can't Stand the Rain is also in the top 500. But to me, Can't Stand the Rain is above Get Your Freak On as far as like something brand new, a sound no one ever heard before.
Were the Beatles in top 10?
No, not a song. But
Really?
the highest Beatles song, I believe, was John Lennon.
Imagine.
Maybe it was Imagine. Maybe it was something else. Yeah, the Beatles.
I gotta check out this list.
It's amazing. But by the way, Spotify, someone did it. Someone just put it all in order. And it makes you just believe in humanity.
Really? That's cool.
You're like, oh, this song's like, there are 11 duds on it where you're like, the fuck is this song? Out of 500.
Do you
It's
just
hours.
search Rolling Stone 500?
Yeah, Rolling Stone 500 Greatest Songs of All Time 2021, because there was a previous list. But like, so I was filming in Alabama. I went to a wedding, Adam Devine's wedding in Mexico, and then got fucked on the way back, just boned at the Dallas airport, and ended up having to drive from Dallas to Mobile, Alabama,
Oh, wow.
which is 8.5 hours. And I had already been like carving into the list, but I was like, well, here we fucking go. This list was born for this drive. So I just like plowed through 250 of the songs driving.
That's cool.
And it felt like it was a 2-hour drive. And every song I was like, this is a good song. Oh, I've never heard this. That was a fucking good song. Oh, this song is next. Oh shit, this song. Oh yeah, this song. Oh, my favorite song. Like, it just made you go, humans create amazing shit.
That's cool.
There's so much.
That's
It's
cool.
wild.
I like that.
That music does that more than any medium for me too, where like it makes you believe and like
Yeah.
you're like it's like a higher plane.
And maybe that's my beef of the week is Rolling
I was
Stone
gonna say
magazine,
that sounds like it's your beef.
Nice, dude.
where I'm like, guys, I just need. And by the way, you can go on their website, plug, and you can kind of read the blurb of each song and why like they picked it and how influential it was, or like what the context of the times was. You know, like Change Is Gonna Come. Sam Cooke, I think, is number 3.
See, I was gonna say that might be the best song of all time.
Yeah, that's arguably best song. Respect.
Doesn't put you in a good
Aretha
mood.
Franklin. I can't argue that that's not the greatest song. I think it's a fun song. It means something that when she's singing it, she's got the greatest voice of all time, arguably.
It just seems like because of the message of the song, it's them being like, this is the message of the time.
For sure.
And it feels a little fitted for that to me.
For sure.
But it is an incredible song. But I just don't know if when I hear it, my brain has ever gone, whoa, this is the best song of all time. Where
Right.
the first time I heard A Change Is Gonna Come,
Right.
I was like, I can't believe a human being.
It stops you.
It stops you.
Yeah.
You really can remember that moment
Yeah.
in a way that I don't know if Respect. Because Respect's kind of also like a wedding banger. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's
Maybe
the
that's a
best
good
part
thing.
about it
Maybe
is
that's a
it's
good
like
thing.
it's not hitting you over the head. And same with Fight the Power. Fight the Power is a fucking mosh
Fun
pit song,
Yeah.
right? It's an amazing song. It says a lot. It said it at a time where it needed to be said and still needs to be said now. And like I think that kind of raises it a few spots, you know. I just don't think it's as good as A Change Is Gonna Come or
But like even Nothing But a G Thing. Like if
Nothing But a G Thing is on there. Regulators is not. And look,
that's crazy, bro.
Warren G is obviously not Snoop. He's not Dre. But Regulators is a song. There's 0 Nate Dogg songs in the 500 greatest songs
That's
of all
insane.
time.
That's insane.
That's insane to me.
That's insane. Nobody sang a better hook than Nate Dogg.
Nobody.
Ever.
Gin and Juice, not on there, which I think is Nothing But a G Thing is its own animal almost. It's like, it's this holy fuck, what the fuck is this? because it just came out of nowhere. But Gin and Juice, and I stand by this still. If you put Jay-Z and Snoop against each other, there's not a Jay-Z song better than Gin and Juice.
It's true.
Period.
I'm trying to think.
Like where it just kicks on, and you're like, with so much drama in the LBC.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking maybe
G.
Big Pimpin', but I don't think Big Pimpin'.
But Big Pimpin' is clunky.
Right.
It's a little shallow.
Big Pimpin' is like, you bop your head to. Gin and Juice is a fucking like, you ride with that shit. There's a cut to it. Snoop is so in and out of the beat on that. Big Pimpin' is kind of not, I don't know. It's a clunker to me.
Yeah, and it's a banger. I don't know if you can dig into it as much as Gin and Juice. But I'm trying to think of my favorite Jay-Z's, and I'm not a rap expert, but I was watching Tupac. It's funny, I watched a bunch of Tupac live things last night, and I watched him do America's Most Wanted with Snoop Dogg. And the way that Tupac gets animated in his performance, it's electric. No backing track, and it's just him like pure like velocity. Like he's so in it.
Nobody rides a beat better than Tupac. Because it's his full body. I mean, DMX was his own guy.
That's true too.
With like an intensity. But as far as like I'm swinging with the song, Tupac just like
he could generate so much like force and energy and like intensity out of it. And then before the song starts, he's talking shit about having sex with Biggie's wife, and you're like, whoa, dude. Yeah. Like this is intense.
The duality of man.
That's what I love about him. Yeah. But I was trying to think. I think Jay-Z for me, and I think people would say this isn't the best pick. I think like Heart of the City. What was that one?
Mm-hmm. Was that off of the American Gangster soundtrack? Is so fucking good.
It's really
and I believe
amazing.
that's off that.
Yeah.
And I think Snoop produced a ton of it, and people were like, "Oh, what's this gonna be?" It's just bangers. It's just absolute bangers.
He's good on like his anthems. I know those aren't his like best lyrical work, but his anthems are pretty incredible. Yeah.
Jay-Z's highest ranked song, I believe, was 99 Problems.
That's a great one.
Our basketball coach played Dr. J in American Gangster. It was like a huge deal at our high school.
Yeah.
We're like, Mr. Benjamin, you're playing Dr. J? He's like, yeah, man. He called me Malibu. He's like, yeah, Malibu. That's me in there, baby.
So there's two black guys you've had in your life who called you Malibu?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like...
Because Fu called you Malibu too, right?
Malibu Breeze.
I mean, aren't you though?
That's what I strive to be.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
You know exactly where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
And you like it, which is
And what did you call them?
It's not an insult.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And where did you pigeonhole them?
Yeah.
No, but yeah, the list, it's super fun. But yeah, Rolling Stone, like, just some shit in there where you're like, huh? But there was a song I'd never heard by these guys, Poncho and Lefty.
Don't know it.
And it's like within the first 5 songs, now I can't remember the song, but I listened to it like 1,000 times in a row because I was just like, it's like a folksy kind of country, and I don't like country at all, song that has this weird melodicness to it that goes off what you would think would be the normal way a human would do a song. And it just stuck with my fucking head for like 2 months, and I listened to it all at Poncho and Lefty.
Yeah, send that to me.
Or Left Foot, maybe. I'll send it to you.
I think my number one all time.
This is interesting.
I think my number one all time is Talking Heads' "Naive." This must be the place.
That's way up there. And what a lot of people don't talk about is the context of songs and having like these resurgences. Like that song went away for a while, and then I want to say it was in that fucking sex doll movie with Ryan Gosling.
Oh, Lars and the Real Girl.
Yeah, during some montage.
Oh, really?
So like kind of got brought back by like a cool movie, and like cool people started playing it like at cool parties.
Yeah. And
then uncool people who got to go to cool parties were like, "Oh, this song's
cool." That's the thing. It's a cool song that uncool people can appreciate.
Exactly.
I think that's what makes it the best.
And then also with I don't think people even realize this, but Don't Stop Believing. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that's a song they play like after the fucking Cubs won or whatever the fuck, White Sox maybe it was."
Cubbies.
No, that movie was played in the movie Monster with Charlize Theron when they're roller skating. That is when that song came back, and then cool people were like, "Yeah, this song kind of ironically rips."
That song's had like 4 moments like it. Sopranos finale, Glee, end of the pilot. The Glee pilot rips. It's Don't Stop Believing. That song just is. It's gonna have like 30 more cultural touchdowns.
I still love it.
Oh,
I know-
dude, Perry can just belt, dude.
People
He
try to
can.
get you to hate it, but it fires me up.
It's not my favorite song by them. I like the one where he's like, oh fuck, what is it called?
Loving.
No. Where he's like,
Not a vape.
where he gets on
It's
the,
okay, really sing.
he gets in that chorus where he's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, Faithfully.
Yes, faithfully. That's my shit because there's some drama to it. There's drama to it. He takes you on a little walk.
Separate ways too, though, bro.
How separate ways go?
Someday love will
Oh, it's
find
like-
Oh,
you.
dude, that's
too
a good
much.
song.
Tear
I
down.
can't handle that.
That fires me up
Sorry.
too.
No, but you know what I mean. Like that
That gets me going.
song.
It's a punch. That song's punchy.
I feel like that song for me, it doesn't go, "Hey man, we're going." It kind of drags me in a way that I never asked to be on board with it. It doesn't invite me in.
It
I feel
forces
like.
you in.
And I go, it's too loud, guys. I don't want to be here.
It's a frat guy
Is it?
pressuring someone into something.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's like a, hey man, I'm not interested type of thing.
Yeah, you're like, give me a choice here, brother.
Does it build? There's no build.
No, it doesn't. It comes in blasting you. It's like that Rob Thomas song, "The World is Falling Apart." You know, I believe the world is burning to the ground. It's
I don't
just
know that
punchy.
one, but you just reminded me that a song that should be on the 500 greatest songs of all time, and I don't give a fuck, is Goo Goo Dolls' "Iris."
Bro, yeah.
Let's all just stop the judgment and just give that song its due.
And the lead singer had a great haircut.
Resnick, dude.
Bowl?
No,
It's like Meg Ryan haircut. Not
Yeah.
even just because she's in the movie for the song Iris.
Like fun bangs?
It's sort of Bon Jovi-esque.
That's a good call.
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess I can't even picture
He's
it.
a
That's
hottie,
just
dude.
that's just
Resnick's
what
a
I remember.
hottie.
That's just what I remember from watching that music video back in the day. I was like, even as like a 6-year-old, I was like, it's good hair.
And who
Right,
can't
yeah.
relate to that chorus?
It's
Yeah.
so good.
I don't want the world to see me because I don't think they'd understand.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man. I felt that way fucking every day of my life, bro.
Heavy. I had an assistant one time, like I was just listening to music and that song came on and I was like, this song's fucking great, right? He goes, yeah, I've seen Goo Goo like 3 or 4 times. And I was like, what?
Yeah, I've never met a person.
I was like, oh, okay, dude. You're fired. No, but I was just so taken aback. He was like, yeah, they like came to my college twice. And then like I was in St. Louis and they were playing. So I just went and checked them out. And I
He
was
can't even
like,
admit to himself what a big fan he is.
yeah, I was like, damn, dog. But the list is, and they did the 500 greatest albums, which is a whole other chore. But the 500 greatest songs is fucking sick.
Dude, it stimulated a lot of conversation here. I love it. That's what it's for, right? Dude, I also have the Jan Winter biography right here. I'll give it to you about the guy who started Rolling Stone. And he's like a fucking whack-a-job.
Can I tell
But,
you something?
Yeah.
I can't read. I'm bad at reading.
Dude, I legit appreciate you sharing that, though. dude.
Yeah. So like for me to even pretend that I'm gonna read that, it's not gonna happen. And it's not that I don't like reading, it's that I'll read and then I'll go, was I just reading? What was I just reading? I have no idea what I just read, and I got to go back up to the top of the page, and I just read that page again, turn the page, go to the next page, and I'm like,
Do you do audiobooks?
no, same. It's the exact same thing. I'll be
maybe-
listening to it, and then my mind will just go, and then I'll be like, oh fuck, I gotta like rewind,
Yeah.
40 seconds or whatever.
Interesting.
It sucks.
No, but dude, I think you're speaking for a lot of people when you say that, and I appreciate the
I gotta hit the
vulnerability.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chad, who's your
mean-
babe of the week before you hit the bathroom?
My baby of the week is Kevin Kline in the movie Dave.
Oh, shit. Actually, do you want to hit the bathroom and come back and hit
What a
this? 'Cause
pull.
I-
We'll talk about it, and then we'll see if it syncs up with why.
Okay.
No. We'll wait for you. We'll wait for
No,
you.
talk about it.
No, because you got a lot on Dave. We've seen it a bunch.
Do you know the movie?
Yeah, of course.
I'll just talk about it right now. Okay, Kevin Kline in the movie Dave. I'm starting to appreciate sad movies a little bit more. I watched First Reformed the other. It's a sad movie.
Is that Ethan Hawke?
Ethan Hawke and Paul Schrader.
So good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm starting to, because I used to be like, if it bums me out, I can't watch it. But
For
now
sure.
I'm starting to get more. I'm like, no, I can. I
Al-
appreciate.
Also,
I appreciate.
also, what are you gonna watch that doesn't bum you out anymore? Because that's like most movies.
Yeah, that's why we're trying to make our own stuff. So
Yeah.
we can,
Right.
that's why.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I just watched 90s shit because like Dave and Kevin Kline.
Yeah.
That's feel good. When those 90s movies, when they have the orchestra or whatever, when it's just that very light music, like do do do, like
Right,
okay, we're entering movie world. It just fires me up. And
It's a genre that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, and I love it, man. I love those characters. Those are my favorite characters of those guys who are like carefree and just enjoying life, and they just, they do have some problems,
Right, of
like
course.
he's divorced and all that stuff, but it's
And
like
that's a problem.
no, just like they've had
Sorry.
my dog, no, they've had their struggles.
Right, of course.
Yeah. They've had, they've been through emotional stuff. That's what
Right.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then but they just seem to go through life with this sort of like playfulness that I just, it's aspirational. It's gets
Right.
me very excited about life.
If they can get through it, so can you.
Yeah.
Kind of
You
thing.
just sort of like, oh, that's how I should be.
Right.
Like, why am I worrying about, just whatever I'm worrying about when, you got Kevin Kline just sort of riding his bike, just being like, yeah, I run a temp agency.
And it's
Right.
it's like Capra-esque
Yeah.
to tie it back to even earlier times, and it's the idea that if there was just a good, decent person in charge of everything,
Yeah.
everything would be better.
Mhm.
And is it like fantasy? Maybe, but it's a great place to hang out for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And believe that, because I think we all want to believe that.
And
And,
I-
Kevin Kline embodies that well. He has a goodness to him.
And I think that makes the world a better place. I think that lifts people up in a way where it's like, I think like a nice little dose of just sort of, naivete and
Yeah.
optimism is good for people.
And dude, when him and Charles Grodin, who is probably my favorite comedic actor of all time, behind
Yeah.
maybe Jeffrey Tambor,
Nice.
when they reset the fucking budget, dude,
Yeah.
and they put the screws to all those fucking senators who are trying to get, pork barrel spending or earmarked bullshit, dude, and he just is
Yeah.
like, nah, dude, that $200 million going to putting some houses
Yeah.
up.
Just
bitch.
put it in a savings account. That'll generate $25 million of interest.
Let's go, dude. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Good movie. Have you now? You like that version of Kevin Kline? Have you seen? Because I just watched this during the pandemic for the first time. Sophie's Choice.
I've never seen it.
No, I need to watch
I know
that.
what the critical thing is in it, but I've never
Right.
seen
I
it.
did too. You can't. It's
Yeah.
cultural. You just
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
He's in it, and it's a side of him you like can't unsee afterwards. Where you're
Really?
like, whoa, this dude's fucking unreal. Yeah.
Are you
It's-
ready,
and it's
for,
totally
that,
different.
are you
I
ready
felt-
for that level of sadness, though? Because
Well, I felt that way after Wild Wild West.
No, but this makes you appreciate him.
that's true, dude. That was a heavy hitter.
In a bunch of ways, in ways that like a giant tarantula body can't.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I-
it's
I read
actually
this-
different
I-
than Wild Wild West.
I read-
Sophie's Choice, and those are
I know.
Are they different?
they're like, I mean, metaphorically, they're actually
Talking about a lot of the same shit.
yeah, which is probably why he did it because he was like, I get it, this is a homage.
Are you saying that the World War II is more savage than the Civil War?
Final answer.
Yeah. So they
Smart, dude.
basically pitched the movie as Sophie's Choice meets Texas.
Right, the Wild Wild Choice. The Wild Wild Choice.
Yeah.
It's for Planned Parenthood, dude.
Jim West. Wild Choices.
Jim West. What was I gonna say?
Who do you kill?
I forgot
I
what I was
can't
gonna
even
say.
rap it, dude.
Well, Kevin Kline, Wild Wild West.
Oh yeah, I read this acting book, Harold Guskin or whatever, and the whole book he just talked about Kevin Kline. He's like,
Yeah.
when Kevin Kline did Hamlet, when he
Mhm.
did blah blah blah. Like,
It just shows you his range because he's so good at being like the affable, likable guy. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Fish Called Wanda, he's kind of a jerk, right?
But he's so lovable.
but he's so
though,
lovable.
and he's so buffoonish. Yeah.
But you see this movie, Sophie's Choice, and you're like, oh, he's got different speeds, man.
nice.
Yeah.
He can do it all, dude. He's a fucking true actor, man.
Yeah.
And that 90s run he was on with like Dave and In and Out, he had a
Yeah.
good stretch there where
Is he In and Out is a legendary VHS box
So
cover,
true.
DVD cover.
with him like
yeah.
in the tux,
You know it.
sprawling, baby.
Yeah. It's nothing, but it's so memorable.
It is.
Why? Kevin Kline.
It's up there with the XXX one where it was just Vin Diesel hitting a tricep flex and having a fucking fat 357 revolver in his
Right.
hand with that fucking sick arm tattoo, dude.
And is
Dude.
Kevin Kline married to Phoebe Cates?
We were
Yeah.
just talking about that earlier.
Yeah. And guess what? And
Solidified.
And JT guessed his age correctly. Do you know
Wait,
what
wait.
it is?
He's 67.
I nailed it on the head. I was like, yo, how old's Kevin Kline? I go, he's 74, and he
Yeah.
was. He's 74.
Well, he looks great. I haven't seen him for a while, actually.
He's eternally youthful.
Yeah.
Because he has fun.
But those movies from that era, I always talk about House Sitter.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see that?
Sinbad?
Mm-hmm.
No. That is
House Guest.
House Guest. House Sitter is Steve Martin. He's an architect. He just broke up with his girl. So he has like a one-night stand with Goldie Hawn. And then she learns all this stuff about how he built this house for his girl, and she dumped him. And now he's got this empty house, and she's like just got fired from her job, and she starts living in the house that he just built that no one's in like the town he grew up in where his parents live. And people start coming by the house, and they're like, who are you? And she's like, I'm Steve Martin's wife. And they're like, we didn't know he wasn't married. And she's like, well, how would you know? And they're like, we're his parents. And then it becomes this like lie thing where then they're like, we're so happy you got married. And he's like, my parents are being nicer than ever. And
So he's got to play along.
so he's got to keep it up. And then she's like, you know, got a troubled past where she's commitment phobe. But now he's like, no, now you got to stay in it. Da, da, da. And then like he starts getting his girl back, who I think is Dana Delaney.
I don't know her.
She's great.
But dude, Goldie Hawn and Steve Martin, I'm not even aware of them. You always have the fire ones because I watched Death Becomes Her because of your
Oh,
rec.
same era.
Yeah.
So my grandma gave me in one Christmas Death Becomes Her and House Sitter, both of those one Christmas.
She loves Goldie Hawn.
Yeah, Goldie Hawn is
She's dynamite. She's
unreal.
Like, I was
Did you
gonna
watch
say Dynamite and then I
Christmas
got
Chronicles?
self-conscious. No.
She's great. She's still got it. She's still got that like,
Joie de vie.
yeah. Joa DeVee.
Joie de vie.
She's like a Joa constrictor. Yeah, no, she's just like fucking the like quintessential Goldie Hawn moment for me, and maybe this is like a cliche thing to say, is in Private Benjamin when she's like finally trying to like figure
Rally
out how
the
to be
troops.
it's like a montage of her like trying to get the hang of it, and she like makes her bed perfectly, and you're supposed to be able to bounce a quarter off of it, and she bounces the quarter and it bounces back, and she just grabs it but misses it, but her face doesn't illustrate
Doesn't
that.
change.
She's just like, and you know, Nancy Myers was like, we're keeping that.
Oh, is that a Nancy Myers movie?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's at least her script. If not, I think it's her movie.
I think you're right. I
Yeah.
think you're right. That's a good combo. Right
But it
there.
was so funny and goofy and stupid. And I think I tweeted out a video clip of like her in Bird. Is it not Bird on a Wire? What's the one with Mel Gibson?
Oh yeah, dude, where they're on the run and he's like,
Yeah.
dude, yeah.
She's
No, it is
like-
Bird on a Wire.
Is it okay? So
Yeah.
he's like in the shower, and she just found out he's not dead, and she's like dumbfounded, and she goes on this runabout. She's like, yeah, he's alive, and he's right here, and I'm looking at his butt, and his butt's alive, and he's here, and it's all and
I remember
she
that
just
scene.
kills it, and you're like, fuck.
She's amazing. She's so
Yeah.
funny, and then she's beautiful too. It's
Yeah.
like
My mom cornered her. I brought my mom and dad were in town, and I took them to the This Is 40 premiere, I think. And Goldie's son with Kurt Russell, I think, is in it.
Wyatt Russell.
Yeah, maybe him or somebody was in it, and they were there. And my mom's like, "Is that Goldie Hawn?" I go, "Yeah, pretty crazy, right? Your son's taking you to Hollywood premieres." And she goes, "I'm gonna go. I gotta go say hi." And I was like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
My mom's fucking gone, and she just goes up, and I see her be like, "Tap tap," and Goldie turns around like, "Yes," and she's like, and I just kind of like see the body language, and like Goldie's like melts, and is like, "Oh, thank you." And my mom comes back, and she's like, "She was just so sweet," and I was like, "That's crazy. My mom's just fearless."
I had that same. My mom. We were at a Laker game. I was like 13. Ann Margaret was there. Like she was at a lot of Laker games, and my mom's like, I have to go up to talk to her.
Yeah.
And I was like on pins and needles the whole
Yeah.
time. I'm like, don't blow this with the lady from like Grumpy Old Women.
Right.
And then my mom was perfect in that moment. She was just like, I love you. You're so beautiful. And Ann Margaret was like, thank you so much. And I was like, oh, my mom kind of knows how to hang.
She gets it.
Yeah.
Here's a Anne Margaret shout out here.
You got an anecdote about Ann Margaret?
My dad dated her in high school.
Get the fuck out, dude.
It's
Bro.
like, it's his whole like, you know, Anne Margaret and I went to a few dances together, and I'm like, and as a kid, I'm like, I don't know what that means, dude. But now I know that she was like,
legendary beauty.
yeah.
That's insane.
They like went to the same Lutheran church because she's like, I don't know, Swedish or some shit. And,
That makes sense. I didn't know any of those things.
They went to like, he went to like the dance where the girls asked the guy.
Sadie Hawkins.
He went to like the other high school to go to her dance.
Oh, so she really was. She was picking him.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's his claim.
Dude, your
I mean,
dad's
not
a
his claim.
legend.
That's not his claim. And then we went to. He brought me to a book signing where she like came back near the hometown, and he was like, we waited in line, and she's like, hi, and he goes, and it's Phil Holm, and she just dips the sunglasses down that she always wears, like the rouge, like not rouge, but like tinted red sunglasses, and she goes, Philip Holm, get over here, and like gets out from behind the desk and like starts hugging him, and I'm like, who is this lady hugging my dad? This
Dude,
is
your dad's the
weird.
Mac, dude.
Yeah, apparently.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, my dad always said he dated one of the ladies from the movie Ski Patrol. That was always his big
dude.
celebrity claim to fame.
I'm developing Ski Patrol right now.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
awesome.
I met
that's a
Rod-
great movie, dude.
I presented at the NHL Awards many years ago, and then I'm backstage fucking drinking beers with who's the legend from the Rangers, who's fucking
Mark Messier.
Messier. He had like a Miller Lite, and I'm like, "Where'd you get that?" He's like, "You got to go back in this fucking door." Just grabbed it out of his kitchen, this kitchen mini fridge, and I was like, "Sick." So he's like, "Here you go, pal." Opened it for me. I'm like, "This is fucking dope." I'm not a huge hockey fan, but I respect hockey. I love sports, and he's a legend. But so then we're back there, and this guy goes, "Hey, I know you're about to go out there. I don't want to bother you. I'm the Voice of God announcer here tonight, and I just got to get a picture with you because my daughter's a huge fan." And I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. And he's like, what? I go, you're Roger Rose from Ski Patrol? And he was like, yeah. I go, dude, I can't tell you like how many times I watched that movie as a
great
kid,
movie.
the effect it had on me. I'm like, and then I go like, if your daughter likes me, she only likes me because I'm what I'm you. You're in me. And she's just liking
Right.
you.
It's Oedipal.
And I was like, you're the man. Like,
He is
and
the
we just
man.
drank all night, and he's a good dude, nice guy. Like, went to my rival high school, weirdly. Same high school as Ann Margaret. I just touched his thigh.
I loved it. This high school's got some heavy hitters coming out.
It was like the fancy high school.
Right, makes sense.
But so now we've kept in contact, and I'm going to try and develop a new school ski patrol.
Dude, that'll be
Hell
dope. I
yeah.
think we're ready
Yeah.
for it. They've tried a couple times with like iterations of that, but they haven't done
Yeah.
it like they've done like how ski.
I should
Patrol
get you
feels.
guys in it.
Bro, don't you feel for
Not to flex, but I rip at skiing.
We talked about that last time. I think that
Yeah.
you were a skier. I'm a skier as well.
Yeah.
I'll practice.
I rip
I'll
pretty hard.
practice.
It's fun. I'm not really good. I can't like go backwards like I assume you can and be like, we're gonna go this way and then spin back around.
Dude,
yeah.
I do that.
Yeah, it's the best way to talk to your friends who.
Where are we going? We go fire trail? All right.
I'm gonna get the skis where your heels come out of them and you drop knee.
Dude, that would be hilarious.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
just JT
I'll get
just,
on those.
Is
things,
that
you
like-
could look really elegant with
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm going
telemarks.
for.
Yeah,
What was
what's
the
your
movie?
Jean-Claude the 58
Hot
of
Doggin' or
France.
Hot Dog the movie, where like it was like ski dancing that they use those skis.
Right.
Oh, I don't know.
Is that like
Yeah.
Sheen or something in it?
I don't know, but it is like,
We're remaking Aspen Extreme.
let's go, guys.
I'm playing Peter Berg.
Let's
dude.
just corner the market. It's time.
Ski movies are.
They are right. It's time to come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's time. But yeah, Roger Rose, Ski Patrol. I mean, what's the woman from Ski Patrol's name?
The blonde-haired lady, right? I don't know.
The like Russian.
I think that's who my dad said he dated. I haven't asked him in years.
Wow. So who's like, Stanley, like, don't let them push you around.
Yeah, because my dad was like a ski bum in like Sun Valley for a couple of years.
Nice. I mean, did you guys do anything pointless like that?
No, I always.
It's not
I always,
intentionally.
I always,
No, but like,
Yeah, I did not.
I always admired it, but I just never. I don't think I have the. Because I love surf culture, I love ski culture,
uh-huh.
I love extreme sport culture, I love X Games, all
Yeah.
that stuff. But I just never had the. I think I just. I think I just think about the future too much.
I'm with
know
you.
what I mean?
I had a homie who like right out of college, and this is a dude who had like actually had some cash, so he wasn't. He could do this. It's a privilege. He just moved to San Diego to what PB,
Yeah, Pacific Beach.
right?
More
Moved-
tattoo parlors and burrito shops than any other square mile in
Yeah.
the world.
And for 1 year or maybe like 14 months, just lived in a fucking shitty, ratty, on the boardwalk apartment, 2 dudes to a room, sand everywhere, wasn't even a surfer.
Yeah.
He was just like, yeah, we just drink, eat tacos, and go out at night.
Dude, PB at night is like a war zone.
Yeah.
They party. It's pretty. I mean, yeah, it's interesting going down to San Diego and you just doing like shows down there and stuff because it's a different world.
It's Miami
and I
light.
respect it. Yeah.
And by the way, he's
Yeah.
fine. He didn't miss a year of like
Yeah.
getting ahead or whatever, you know. But when I moved to LA, I was always kind of like, you know, not that I was like able to even pound the pavement as soon as I got here, but I was mission minded.
Yeah.
And everyone who was like, yeah, we moved to London for a year. I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are you doing there? But now I'm looking back and I go, I wish I just did that so I could move to LA with a little bit more of a thing under my belt,
Yeah.
even if it was nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've always admired people who they can just travel. They're like, yeah, I'm in Mexico City, and you're like, all right.
Are you though?
Yeah.
What? How?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
I kind of feel like we get that through the work though a little bit.
That's true.
Now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's through the work. It's not pure.
Yeah, but it's almost nice because
Almost better.
yeah, I think it's almost better for me at least, where I'm like, oh, I get to experience this cool place, but it feels like purposeful, and maybe that's the opposite of the point. Maybe
But
the
think
point is
about
to
this.
not have it be purposeful,
How often do we hang?
or for the purpose to be different.
How often do we hang?
This
Not
is like second time.
yeah.
And it's on a podcast. You think I
Yeah.
want to kick it with you guys on a podcast, or you think I want to kick it with you guys in real life?
Dude,
Tell us right now.
are you
But-
for real right now?
Well, for sure. But like, I don't know when that's gonna happen.
That's
and,
true.
And
that's
so
true.
that's what I'm equating it to. We're like, dude, with the Workaholics guys, we've been around the world, like Australia. But we've been places, or Peru. I went to Peru with Adam. We went to the Bahamas and did Shark Week, like, and it's all paid for. And it's like, you've got tour guides who are like, hey, we're here to take care of you. And like,
Yeah.
you party and like things are paid for and it's fucking awesome. And that's definitely the way you want to do things. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but I never took a vacation where I didn't have to like be up at 6 to do radio in Australia, or
Right.
like, and not that we didn't like stay up to 4, you know, but like it was, yeah, you know,
It was always in your head that there was something else there.
I don't even think it was in my head, just because I was like so fortunate and like stoked on
the experience.
the experience of it. But like looking back, I'm like, yeah, but like, and maybe it is better. I don't know.
It's hard to say. It would be nice to do something without any like functional purpose to it, other than to like experience life.
Right.
But I don't know if I'm totally hardwired that way.
And we're artists,
Yeah.
right? Like not
I
to
hope so.
not to
Yeah.
but not to like be like
Pretentious or something.
yeah, pretentious about it. Thank you, but like we're artists. We don't clock in 9 to 5, right? Like what we do professionally is an extension of who we are and how we live. So like I guess it is kind of like a blurred lines kind of thing.
Right.
I went on a surf trip to Mexico over the summer at this place that was like very remote and
Yeah.
like kind of like you go there and it's literally just shacks on the beach and
Right.
not, you know, it's there no resorts. It's concrete shacks, extremely minimalist, like the bare minimum of what you need.
Right.
And there's just people down there who just, you know, this one guy, I called him school bus because he's like, yeah, I'm just taking my school bus mainly in Mexico down to Costa Rica, you know,
Right.
and he's just living like that.
Right.
And when I was there for like 5 days, and at first I was like, you know, you have no cell service, and I was like kind of freaking out. And I'm like, you know, I was just like, I'm missing stuff. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, and then you settle into it. And then towards the end, I found like this piece where I'm like, oh, this is like
Right.
embracing this lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I think also because I was getting closer to leaving, where I would get back into this.
Right.
But
No, that's tight.
yeah, but it is interesting. Like I was looking at the people there who are just like living there, just living like the surf life, like the true surf life, and I was like watching them. I'm like I admire it, but I just don't think I could ever do it.
Yeah. You're like, but what are you doing? You're
Yeah.
Like, what are we supposed to be doing? And you're like,
Yeah.
creating things to
Yeah.
get reactions to. No, you don't care.
Right.
Yeah, and you're like,
No, no need. They're like, we barbecue every night. We have 2 cats.
yeah,
And
and
you're like,
I guess
oh, is that enough?
for me, it's important to have those people in my life, but I think I always kind of understand that I'm not that
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll have that sabbatical when I'm in like my 50s or something.
Yeah.
No, that's
like that.
dope.
And you're
Though.
like-
That makes me want to take my kids on a bit, because I'm a hotel guy.
yeah,
Love hotels, dude.
I know some people are like, I want to rent a house. That way nobody's bothering me and I can cook food and da-da-da. I don't cook. I like to be able to go to a restaurant, wake up, go to like the crazy breakfast, go to a pool, and I'll deal with somebody bothering me if I can just get drinks served to me.
And
like,
you can trust the infrastructure.
Yeah, and my kids can just ball out and have a good time. But like now I'm like, wouldn't it be tight to do a week of balling out and enjoying life and whatever excess, and then hitting a place like that for a week and making your kids like, yo, go dig a fucking hole.
Yeah.
Dude. Go dig a hole. Go like make a thing. Go like fucking
just be present with your environment.
Yeah,
and enjoy
find a
it
lizard.
without like tacked on kind of human amenities.
Yeah,
and shit.
and then I also would be like digging a hole with them probably because I'm like, what am I gonna do? There's no
I think that's good balance. That's the right way to think about it.
Yeah, during the day, people literally just lay in hammocks.
Yeah,
they just lay in, like
that's fucking
like
insane.
I was you surf in the morning, it gets blown out.
Yeah,
it's not really surfable, and also you're tired. You surf for like 3 hours in the morning.
Right.
People just lay there.
Yeah.
For like 6 hours and then they surf again. That's every day.
That's wild. That's wild. Like I'm jealous, but at the same time, jealous. Like I guess I'm like, but yeah, the wiring is just not there.
What gets in the way? Just the conditioned need to like produce or something like that?
I want to make something. Well, I just think I grew up watching movies and I said I want to make movies. I didn't necessarily want to be in movies, but I wanted to make something that resonated with me in a way that those movies did. Like I wanted to make a Ghostbusters, right? Where it's like somebody made that. I want to make something that awesome. That I guess now I'm thinking like that people enjoy, but almost that I would enjoy. I'm like, can I do that? Can I make something that's that awesome? The answer is no. But like, I wanted to try, right? And
well, that's like when I watch like Kevin Kline and Dave. That's how I feel of like I want to play a character who invokes these kinds of feelings in me, or who, creates that kind of lift in my like spirit,
right.
and that's having fun.
Yeah.
In a professional capacity.
You want to be somebody else's babe on their podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
Do you have a babe?
Did you do yours?
I didn't do mine. Did you? Wait, who was yours?
You go before I do.
Oh, I do? That's the order? You're going to make me do that? Babe of the week. Well, so now that I know that it can be kind of just somebody you're fawning after, there's this booty clapper on Instagram. No, who is my babe of the week? I mean, I guess it goes without saying that it's my wife. We just had a baby and she's killing it. So she's a total babe because she's just handling her business and I'm trying to help out and stay out of the way at the same time. It's a delicate dance, where you got to be like ahead of the game, but then also get the fuck out of the way when it's time. But then just somebody who I'm loving at the moment. I mean, it's gotta be the guy from The Alpinist. Did you guys watch that?
Dude, I haven't watched that. I watched 14 Peaks.
I started
haven't seen
Alpinist.
that
This
yet.
is the dude who like him and I just watched like the first 20 minutes. Him and Honnold are like battling each other to break records.
My babe of the week, and maybe this is just because you just talked about this, but there's an old guy there named like Squiggly or some shit who just does hula hoop all day. Like they start him as like a talking head. And he's like, I've been living here 25, 30, 40 years.
Where is this?
In The Alpinist.
Okay.
It's in, maybe it's Squamish, Canada, British Columbia, I think, where the subject of the documentary grew up and climbed, and now he climbs all over the world. But this guy's older dude, like he lives there and he starts talking about climbing. So you're like, oh, this must be like the wise old sage. And then he's like, yeah, so I'm just pretty embedded in this community. I've been around here for a while. Also, I do a lot of hula hooping. And then they just cut to him in like the town square hula hooping with this alpinist kid with like it going around his neck, then the body, and like his van is just like So you're like, oh, you're just like an old raver who doesn't do anything all day except hula hoop and mix it up. He might be like the guy at my liquor store who was like, who's the fresh meat? Like, I'm going to show you how to do it. He knows, like, these kids are either going to outgrow me or die climbing, but I'm going to be the fun guy who's like hula hooping in the Times
But in
Square.
this moment, I'm going to be like a beacon of kind of optimism for them.
And I was just like, and like you watch him and you go, oh, this is like a nice guy, a good dude, good heart, who all he needs to do is hula hoop.
He found his way.
Isn't that crazy?
That's huge.
Can you imagine? I mean, I guess we did, but like, if you found your thing and it was that easy.
Do you think that's a higher level of consciousness, or do you think that's lack of intelligence?
I think those are the same thing. Like, the dumbest person in the world is able to tap into something that none of us can tap into.
It's pure.
Where they're completely like cut off from every like self-awareness, actual awareness. Like, can you imagine the things you would do if you were like a complete moron?
I think I heard Kanye West on Brady Snell's podcast, and he's like, with every album, I'm trying to get younger. He's like, I feel like when I did College Dropout, I was like a 16-year-old, and then with like Late Registration, I was like 12, and he's like, and I think it was when Yeezus was coming out. He's like, with Yeezus, I'm like 2 years old.
Yeah.
And you couldn't quite like chart
And
it.
it's primal.
Yeah. But it is. It feels that way.
And then he just Pablo's like my favorite.
Pablo, dude, people underrate that one.
Pablo's his best album for sure.
Dude, Ultralight Beam, like, and when Chance the Rapper's verse comes on that, it's religious. It is really religious. Yeah.
And even like, there's like 4 or 5 songs in the last 6 songs that are just fucking bangers.
Is Real Friends on that one too?
Yeah, Real Friends.
Bro.
If you're driving on Mulholland at night and you turn on Real Friends, you either will drive off the cliff to kill yourself, or you'll call someone you haven't heard from in a long time and have like a super connection.
I've wanted to pay him money for the experiences he's given me listening. Like, I was driving one time to the beach. I wasn't driving, but I was stoned riding.
Right.
And my friend put on From the Yeezus, Hold My Liquor.
Yeah.
And the way I got into that song, the depth that I felt when I was feeling it, I was like, I need to like write this dude a letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's tapped into it. And by the way, people call him an idiot all the time. And I don't, obviously he's a musical genius, and obviously he has other like limitations socially for whatever, like however you want to like categorize things. But like, yeah, that thing, he says all these things that aren't great, but like he has no filter, and he's either dumb enough to say them or free enough to say them, or, because he doesn't care about his career.
He's pure.
He said insane shit that like everyone else would get canceled, but like, has he been canceled? Or has he just been like, I know a bunch of people who are like, I don't listen to him anymore, but all right.
Yeah, he's kind of above it in a way. And he's even made careers for the people who correct him when he stepped, like Van Lathan, I listen to all the time on stuff, and he's the guy who called him out at TMZ when Kanye was...
The black dude on TMZ?
Yeah.
That was... I don't know if I had seen that on like Instagram, but when he checked Kanye, I was like, I don't think anybody ever could say it any better than he said it in that moment.
He's like, it's not radical thought, it's the absence of thought. And I was like, whoa, dude, way to distill it in the moment.
It was crazy. And even Kanye was like...
That was my favorite part.
How did he do that?
Kanye West literally looks around and goes, yeah, like checked. Like, I've been checked.
Because I think that show's kind of like not great, or kind of like whatever, disposable. Everything's disposable. Great. But I think it's hyper disposable. But I saw that moment and was like, oh, that's an amazing moment.
It's
That's
incredible.
that's not a disposable moment.
But
And
I give Kanye
now I watch
credit.
every day.
I give Kanye credit for playing the idiot in that 2-man scene, for playing the buffoon.
Yeah.
Dude, my Bay of the Week is similar to, it was inspired by you guys talking about this. There was a dude in Mission Beach right next to PB, right where the roller coaster is there. And it might have been urban like legend, but there was a dude who would roller skate there every day in a specific position.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was kind of low crouched. And I guess the rumor was he used to be like a neuroscientist or
Is
something
this
like that.
not Guitar Genie looking dude?
It might be, dude. This is all coming from like vague memory of when I lived there for
Yeah.
like 9 months.
Right.
But he would skate there every day in a certain way, and I guess he found an angle to skate at and a speed that did something to his brain that made him happy.
This has to be the same guy.
Yeah, it might
He's like
be.
a dude who like has like a head wrap and he plays an electric guitar or something. He plays some sort of instrument that's hooked up to a speaker on him, and he skates in like a slow motion
Yes.
manner.
This is the same guy.
Yeah.
And he found like the combination of things through sound and through movement that just made his brain go, hey, dude, you're happy. And he does that every day.
Wow.
And that's just his whole life.
I love that, like, maybe that's true. Or maybe one dude was just like, you guys know what it is, right? So that guy was a you know what I mean? Like,
No, it's NPR.
It's such a thing.
It's an NPR story.
Even
Yeah.
better that he was like, oh, you're NPR? Yeah, I was a neurosurgeon, and
Just threw it out
you
there.
fucking
Yeah.
dipshits.
Yeah, it was like the S-Town that should have been. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, that dude is a legend. He's been out there. I mean, I've lived in LA almost 20 years, and I remember him from when I was out there in like 03, 04.
Same.
Yeah.
I lived out there in like 06, 07.
Is
and
he alive? Because those legends, sometimes they're gone. There was a dude in Silver Lake who used to walk around reading just like the tannest dude ever.
Love that.
And you would always just see him walking around in super short shorts, high socks, just getting a sunburn in like 120 degree weather. And then I think he died like 5 years ago, and there's a
Dude,
big write up on him.
I think I remember that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would walk on like Hyperion, whatever's next to Hyperion. That's got
Yeah,
less traffic.
I think I saw. Am I thinking of the right guy?
Sweaty,
Because I remember
tan.
super. Did he have a hairpiece?
Yeah, his hair might have looked a little weird.
Yeah. I think I remember it.
Well, he was a doctor. And I mean, the write-up was like, he was a doctor, and then he retired.
They're
and
all
just-
doctors.
Yeah.
And then they get over it.
They
Yeah.
get
He was
it.
an orthopedist.
There's something about them being doctors.
Really? I
No.
don't know.
There's something about them being doctors where it's like, oh, this is the highest level of like traditional society you can attain.
Yeah.
And now they've decided to go the other direction.
I mean,
Yeah.
doctors, I had a homie who, he like broke something in his neck, like a vertebrae, and he had to get him taken out and put in with like these plates. And he went down to Orange County to get it, and he was like, you should see these doctors. They're just like the most confident human gods ever. They're all like handsome guys.
It's my buddy Tom Hall, dude.
Yeah.
That's my buddy doctor from
He's just
high
super
school.
hot,
He looks
super
like
smart.
Thor.
Yeah.
Unbelievably smart. Passed more AP tests in our high school than anyone in history.
Right. And like he goes, they just know that they're operating at another level, literally operating, but operating at another level of like existence where like they're saving lives, and then they're just jumping in their Lambos and cruising off to like
Go
their
play
perfect
volleyball.
families. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're going to play volleyball with like other tall doctors.
He does. Tom bangs from the outside. Did you set that guy butter? He's going to put it away down the line.
That is crazy. He's like a fucking local Dollhauser.
Yeah, dude. Exactly.
That's my one piece.
Good rep, dude. That was perfect, though. Well put.
Yeah.
Well placed.
That
Yeah.
fucking confidence level, those guys are babes.
My boy's stoked all the time. He's the happiest guy now. Maybe except for Chad. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Chad.
probably Tom.
Okay, nice. Way to give him those dabs. Chad, who's your legend of the week?
Now mine seems so lame right now. I just wrote stand up.
That's not lame.
I know, but it's like we're on this theme and
The
stuff.
idea of
where-
stand up.
Yeah, well, it's just stand up is just like whenever I do it, I feel like it just puts me back into. It just makes me happy, I guess.
Your purpose,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I like performing a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're fucking good at it.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I just I like, and because we've been busy with other stuff, it kind of gets away from you and stuff.
Yeah.
And even I'll just go back to like an open mic.
Right.
You just get up on stage. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. And you just like it just sort of resets you in a way where you're just sort of at raw performance and
Mhm.
creativity, where you're just sort of like on stage in front of people trying to make them laugh. And
Right.
Well, and when you make
It's-
bigger stuff, which is amazing because it's
Yeah.
gonna resonate with more people, and it's
Yeah.
like it's a harder thing to pull off.
Yeah.
You sometimes have to get away from exactly what you want to say to make it work within this like bigger thing, which is
Totally.
part of the process, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
But with stand up, you're like, I can just be as dumb as I want right now and say exactly
Yeah.
it's just straight like
Right.
me in this moment.
Yeah.
And it works in that medium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you guys balance the persona or whatever the word is that if it's not persona, but the persona that you intend versus the persona that the audience will accept?
It's a good question.
Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes like you'll watch a stand-up earlier on and you're like, oh, they were really going for like a different thing. Then they pivoted and the audience liked it more.
Yeah.
And you go, well, they were clearly chasing a different thing. But
Yeah.
then now they're doing this and the audience likes it. So how do you bail on, well, I want it to kind of be like I want to be the guy who just tells like one-liners, right? And then you realize like they don't want to hear one-liners from you. Then you start telling stories and they like that, and you're like, all right, I'm a storyteller.
Yeah, I think early on, I knew pretty clearly, early on how the audience perceived me
Right.
when they saw me on stage. Like,
Malibu.
yeah, I mean it's yeah, and so when I sort of like took that on stage, I was pure persona.
Mm-hmm.
Every joke was kind of from that point of view, that naivete or whatever.
Right.
Now it's sort of like a mix
Right.
to where I think getting a little bit more skilled, where it's sort of like there's more truthfulness to me,
Right.
and to like what I'm going through, but like through that point of view.
Right.
And I think that's where I'm headed.
So
And I think there's more longevity.
I've been loving
too.
that new stuff too.
Oh, thanks,
I feel
man.
like it's part. You're older now and growing up too, so
Yeah.
it's like it's real to who you are in this moment.
Well,
Yeah.
early on, I would be like to JT, I'm like, I'm like, kind of a privileged guy. To me, I was like, especially because we were coming up in like East Side open mics,
Right.
where it's like, people are like, they have this raw.
Best fish tacos. Over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
They have like this raw, and I was like, I just knew, I'm a white guy.
Right.
I was like, I know I don't really have like a profound, interesting sort of like, life.
Right.
That's gonna like.
You're
be-
ectomorph though.
I'm an ectomorph. I can bring that on stage. So I think I went pure kind of character.
Mm-hmm.
But then getting experience in life and stuff, and sort of stuff that people can relate to. I think that's when you sort of start to find that material.
But did you start to? So you're like, well, I'm gonna lampoon what I look like, and then at a certain point where you like, maybe I'll just, instead of lampooning it, like, be honest with the parts that are accurate. We're like, yeah, I do surf. I actually love it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well,
the idea is cliche that like, oh, you surf? Of course you surf, dude.
yeah.
But you're like, yeah, but I do. And then there's no ground to be like, oh, all right, I guess you really are that guy, as
Yeah.
opposed to like kind of making fun of what you are in a cartoony way.
Yeah, I think I think I've in a way started from that point a little bit, because I was talking to my dad and I was thinking I went to this open mic and this guy was like, Ed Greer was like, he was judging it, it was at the belly room at the Comedy Store, and he's like, you're just a white guy. He's like, you're good looking, but you're not like super good looking, and he's like, you're gonna need to give me a reason to want to listen to your white humor.
Right.
And that was sort of, I was listening to a lot of motivational stuff, and I was like, yeah, this is like my failure moment. This is what's gonna give me the drive to like find my perspective.
Sure.
I was like, thank you, Ed Greer. And so then I was thinking, how was I funny within my family? How was I funny in like college and stuff? And I was just talking to my dad. I'm like, I guess I could just talk about how much I like love my hair, because it's true.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I was like, in this moment, what do I care about right now? My hair.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's like a funny
Right.
place to speak from, and then
Yeah.
it just sort of evolved from there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I was just thinking about your like original performances, and I was pitching you jokes in my head just now. I was like, you should tell him to put like a bunch of sand in his shoe before the show,
Dude, that's
and then like mid-show just empty your shoe of sand on the
That's fucking
stage.
hilarious.
That would
Be
be
like,
really
sorry,
funny.
that was bothering me.
Yeah.
Anyway, like to
Yeah.
just truly be like that beach bum.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
But yeah, no, I did open mic like 3 times when I was when I was an assistant at Real Time with Bill Maher, because most of the writers were ex stand-ups, and I kind of wanted to like be like, yeah, I did stand up last night, da da da.
Yeah.
And I did it because my homie Yasser. Do you guys know Yasser?
Yasser Lester?
Yeah.
Beast.
He
Yeah.
worked the like phone at the Improv at the time. By the way, I love like when you've been around long enough. The dude who
You see him rise up.
By the way, Adam Devine worked the phone at the Improv, and then when he left that job, gave it to Yasser, I believe. But so Yasser would be like, "Yeah, I'll get you on the list. You don't have to like come and wait around." So I did it like 3 times, and I did okay. I had I had a lot of new rules like that I would write for Bill that Bill would pass on. That the head writer would be like, "This is funny," but Bill didn't like it.
It's not his voice.
And I would change it a little bit to be like, "Oh, this is like I wouldn't be like new rule. I would be like, like this, they should fucking change that to that.
Yeah.
And then I just also improv'd a little bit depending on whatever the intro song would be.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, just to start loose, but it's all stand-ups watching you.
Yeah.
But I always wish I stuck with it only because of what you're talking about, which is like, you should figure out what your point of view is,
Right.
as opposed to like just kind of guessing. Like,
Yeah.
and if you do stand up, I imagine
The audience tells you.
tells you like, we really don't like you as a prick. Like if I was like, my persona's gonna be like the jerk,
Yeah.
because some people get away with it, but like at a certain point they'll be like, we hate you, don't do that.
Right.
You seem like an actual prick.
And you try on all those you
Right.
try to
Yeah.
be Jesselnick for
Right.
like a month, and then the audience will be like, "You're not Jesselnick."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you try and be nice and they're like,
We don't like you as a pussy. We want you to be hardcore, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Dude, 2 things on that real quick. Like, when I started comedy, I started in New York, and I wanted to be like an elbow patch, like intellectual comedian.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wanted to be like.
Was that like a Galifianakis effect?
No, it was more like older than that. It was almost like Dennis Miller, like Robert Kleiner. I liked like witty,
Yeah.
like urbane guys.
Right.
I wanted to be like Dick Cavett almost. Like I
Right.
wanted to be like borderline.
I wanted to be urbane.
Yeah.
You're just like
Right.
a bruh.
Well, the audience let me
They
know
said
real
no,
quick.
can't
I
do
was
it.
like,
Yeah.
I was like, look, I'm playing comedian, but I could also probably host a show where I talk to physicists.
Right.
And then the audience was like, no, you can't do it.
Yeah.
They were like, that's not you, bro. And
I
then,
love that.
And then real quick too, I was like, I would do jokes, and I remember you told me one time, and it seems like a superficial note, but it was like the deepest help I'd ever gotten with stand-up. I'd do like edgy jokes, and the audience wouldn't always laugh, but the
Right.
jokes seemed pretty funny to me.
Right.
And then he goes, smile at the end of that joke, because he goes, the audience doesn't know if they can trust you, but if you smile at the end, they'll know you're like a decent dude. You got like a nice smile.
Right.
They'll like be on board. Dude, I started smiling at the end of bits.
Yeah.
Everything fucking locked in.
Wow.
And it started working. Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, like they don't want to think of me as like a sad, edgy dude. They want me to be a little bit edgy, but playful and nice as
Yeah.
I do it.
I was
Yeah.
always in awe of JT when I first saw him. Even from like the first set I saw, he had this unique, like, uber vulnerability, where he just talk about, just like, but from a broy perspective.
Of course, which is
Where it
hilarious.
It was like so unique because I was like, I'd never seen it before, and it was like this kind of like the shit you were talking about. It was just so funny because it's stuff that you never would expect someone to just say.
Right.
And then you're just saying it from like this like funny yeah, it was very kind of I keep saying unique, but it was just really unique.
Well, because like the surfer vibe, the Malibu persona or whatever, you don't think it would be like introspective
Yeah.
or like critical of self or whatever. And if you're like
Mhm.
sharing insecurities, people are like, I've never seen this before. What the
Yeah.
fuck is happening?
Right. Yeah.
As opposed to just like, when you go to 7-Eleven and like they got the taquitos on the rotisserie. One time, a buddy of mine lit a joint on that, or like
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's funny, but you expect that's not that funny. But like you expect that kind of like that's in the wheelhouse of what you already know about a bro.
Right.
But then when you hear him go like, I put a condom on the other day and it was just a little too loose and it fucking broke my heart. People are like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
exactly.
What happened?
You're like, I don't know how
You
to
know?
place this kind of way, but I'm curious.
So
Yeah.
like now I'm like shopping for different size condoms, but I'd never seen the brand before, so I didn't know if it was like extra big or like from another country. And then I'm like, what's this country where the dicks are so big? Or whatever. Like
Mhm.
people don't expect that, so I'm sure it was
Yeah.
shocking.
Yeah, it's a still work in progress too. But off that, I want to prove what Chad was saying. My legend of the week is buffalo sauce. I love it.
Dude, nice. Dude, I was having some of my eggs today.
It's delicious.
Yeah, Yeah.
I had some wings at Strider's engagement party. Big shout out to Strider and his fiance.
Yeah.
What's funny too, our buddy Strider always talks about his fiance, but she doesn't want to be on camera. So
I was wondering if she was real.
that's what people think, dude. They don't think she's. I lived with her for like 3 years, and they're like, it's all a bit. I'm
The
like,
part
no.
where he was talking about sushi the other day, he's like, we're going out for sushi. I was just, that dude he's an anomaly.
He's incredible. He's the
Yeah.
coolest and beloved, dude. I've never met someone who's genuinely interesting, funny, and intelligent, and that people just automatically love.
Yeah, he's got a thing about him that it's like no nonsense.
He's straight to it.
Yeah.
He knows who he is.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a beast.
And because he does, so do we.
Bro, Strider, big ups to you, dog.
Yeah, man. I'd love to come hang out with everybody off the podcast, but it's Hollywood, man. We don't do that. Sorry.
Dude, I'm down. I'm fucking down.
Let's just
bro.
go to the Grove and walk around, do a couple laps.
That's my favorite place, dude. I go to the Grove like 2-3 times a week. It's
You
like the
know?
capital from the Hunger Games. Nothing bad's ever happened there.
Get on the
Except for
the train.
executions and shit.
There
Yeah.
were those executions. I don't know if they.
They don't publicize it.
Yeah, but yeah, buffalo sauce is, dude. So I was at the hospital a little while ago having a baby, and the menu at this hospital is pretty good, but I was like, I don't want something too crazy. So they had a mini buffalo chicken wrap, okay, and I'm like, great, it's just little. It's gonna give me a little zip
You
for
can
the
trust
day.
it.
Yeah. So this fucking guy behind the counter grabs 2 chicken fingers out of like the fridge, throws them in the fryer. I'm like, all right. Then he gets out like a white tortilla, throws it down, sprinkles a bunch of lettuce on it, grabs the chicken fingers out of the fryer, puts them on top of the taco, and then it was supposed to be a mini buffalo chicken wrap. And he goes with the buffalo sauce and then just hands it to me like open face. And I was like,
It's disrespect.
this is insane.
Yeah.
This is not a wrap. Like, you got to dice the chicken, right? And then you mix it with the lettuce. And then you wrap it. And it wasn't mini. It was like pretty big.
It was macro.
And then I ate it. And it was a fucking mess. And my wife's like, what did you get? I'm like, well, I was trying to get a mini buffalo sauce, like buffalo chicken wrap. And I think that was my last encounter with buffalo sauce. So, like, I know where you're coming from.
Right. But a little recency bias is playing into it.
Yeah, it fucked me up. I'm
It'll
like,
come back into your life, I'm sure.
for sure.
And you just didn't want to put that dude out. You know, he's having a hard day. It's a tough gig. You didn't want to be like, bro, come on. Can you put a little more, like, thoughtfulness into the rap?
I mean, I didn't even give him a look like, you know, like, I'm taking it, but we both know this is not a wrap.
I know the look, yeah.
So yeah, just got a grilled cheese the next time, and it was pretty out of sight. The fries are great. The fries were fucking. We would just get a ton of fries.
That's awesome.
Dude, I love
Nothing like
fries.
hospital fries.
Dude, I used to go on cruises with my family and just get plates of fries.
Yeah. Oh man, you just reminded me. A buddy of mine had a friend. We all grew up together, but it was his experience, and I'm retelling the story. Where they went to Brown's Chicken, which is like a KFC chain in Chicago that doesn't exist anymore. And my homie asked for like, let me get 2 drummies and like some thigh and some breasts. And then the kid who was with him was like, can I just get a plate of the skin, like the fried part? And they were like, no, you have to order chicken.
You have to eat the chicken
And
with
he's like,
it.
all right, fine. But now I'm like, KFC, if they were like, KFC, just the skin, it'd be like the biggest fucking thing in the world.
Something about that feels wrong to me. I'm like, no, you have to eat the part that's not as special to earn the special part. You can't just
Yeah.
get the special
But
part.
in this day and age of like the chicken's the bread and like the Dorito taco shell, like what's the next craziest thing? It's like bucket of skin.
Dude.
Now KFC.
it's going to happen at some point.
I'd get
That's my
that.
Dr. Fauci again.
Yeah,
It's a bucket of skin.
Yeah. 2 doses of the skin, and you're gonna feel fuzzy for a bit. But again, we got the full moon.
Chad, what's your quote of the week?
My quote of the week comes from my yoga teacher, Mimi.
Mm.
Shout out. First, is it problematic? She's Chinese. Is it problematic if I do a Chinese accent?
Probably, dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Okay.
But let's see how good it is.
It's hard.
Yeah, but dude, you know what? That's just our opinion. Let it fly, brother.
Yeah.
And if you want to cut it later, I won't.
No, I'm gonna go standard American.
Smart.
Well, I don't know what that means either.
Dude,
Dude,
yeah, I've been
extra
thinking about this
smart.
all day. I'm in a massive pickle,
Dude,
dude.
do you know how many stories
Can-
and jokes I've told where I've turned someone who was something else into just a white guy so I
Yeah.
got free clearance
Yeah.
on voices? Yeah.
God's waves, help me.
I love the phrase something else too.
That was not the best way to put it, but dude, just
I was in
economy
high
of
school with
words.
this guy. He was something else, but like cool and fun.
Okay,
And I respect
I have it
him
in
deeply.
I have it in my head. I can do it
for
now.
his history.
Chad, you need to be in class every day. You have great energy.
Oh.
That meant a lot to me. Well, like we were talking about energy.
There was
is
a little
important.
bit of a accent in there,
Fuck,
right?
Dude, I heard
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Dude. Oh, dude. No.
Even just like the gentleness, as if, or
They're
does
subservient.
she has a gentle
Is she
voice.
inherently subservient? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
She controls the room.
That's why you like her, too.
Right.
You like
Yeah.
a boss lady.
Oh, yeah.
So she said you have good energy. Dude, can I put my feet up?
Yeah.
Bro,
Great,
please.
thanks.
I've been
Yeah.
waiting for you to do
Appreciate
it.
it.
Take those socks off, too.
No.
Oh, okay, I'm
It's
sorry.
By the way, my second legend of the week is those shorts, baby.
Should we talk about them?
Yes. Before we're out, we
These
got to.
are Mountain Hardwear down insulated shorts. Because I live in Southern California, where sometimes it gets cold, and my kids call them my jacket shorts. I also have jacket pants. They're fun.
Dude, you have pants like that?
Yeah.
That's tight.
And here's what I'm starting to see: high-end fashion. They're doing them now.
Dude, you're
And I'm
ahead of the
like-
curve.
Well, Mountain Hardwear. Shout out Mountain Hardwear. They're ahead of the curve because they're making just functional outerwear, and then like high-end streetwear companies are like, that actually just kind of looks fun and cool.
Dude, you should ask Mountain Hardwear if they'll change the name of the shorts and pants to the Durs.
To Durs's jacket shorts and jacket pants.
Or just
Yeah.
the Durs.
Yeah.
I do like the
The Durs.
Durs.
The Durs shorts. The Durs shorts.
The Durs shorts.
Yeah.
Get on your Kanye shit, dude.
I wish. You know? I don't know if it's my place. But yeah, these are fucking the best.
They're tight.
They're way too expensive. But hey, man. That's just what it is.
Those are expensive?
Yeah.
Nice.
These are $250.
Really,
Or no, I'm sorry. The pants are $250. These shorts were $200.
Nice. Dude.
But my kid gave them to me for Christmas. So,
Really?
oh yeah.
He's breaded.
And then my other kid gave me some like goofy puke colored fleece pants
Sweet.
from Mountain Hardwear. I'm just looking at any camera.
I love it.
Mountain Hardwear fucking, it's good shit. I don't know if you guys,
I've never heard of it, but
I'm
I want to check it out.
When we have that off mic hang,
yeah.
I'm going to come
Come-
G'd up from the feet up in Mount Hardware.
Well, so here's the deal. You guys are both from SoCal, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Or, yeah.
But so, we'll get into it. But I grew up in the Midwest where like you need shit in the winter that's like fully functional. My joke is that the rain jacket of somebody who lives in Southern California is just a hooded sweatshirt. I don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, yeah, you just need a hoodie even when it's pouring rain, as if it like blocks the rain.
When I moved to New York, that's all I had. And then I had to go to like American Eagle Outfitters and get something like, you know,
Yeah.
that had some.
Like driving here today, it was pouring, raining, and it's not
body
warm. It's
to
like
it.
48 or 50 degrees out. And I just saw all these people in hoodies. And I'm like, all you got to do is buy a rain jacket. But it never rains here. So people are like, just
Just survive the day.
hood up, you're good to go. Anyway, jacket shorts.
Dude, I think this rain has been good for, I think we're survive. They were getting a little bit past that drought.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's true.
You guys like the rain?
No.
No.
Bro. I'm a sun
Yeah.
dude day in, day out. I
Yeah.
love to be tan.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it.
When the people on the news are like, we have a severe drought, and I'm like, that's awesome.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're sunshine boys.
What do you think?
Again, like being from the Midwest where you got seasons, you for the first many years, I was like, fuck that. We don't have a seasons here. It's great. Who needs winter? Da 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 da. But then you realize after 10 years, you're like, well, wait, how's it already 10 years? And you don't have the same like markers.
There's no demarcations of
Yeah,
time.
back in the day, you could be like, well, it's pilot season. And it's been a year since the last pilot season. So we know it's been a year. And now that's kind of gone. And so now you're like, if I wear a flannel, it's winter. Like I buy like winter clothes now, like jacket pants.
Just to arbitrarily kind of signpost where you're at.
Yeah, to go, dude, it's winter. Put on those, get out those winter clothes and rock those so that I just know. Otherwise, time just fucking escapes
You can slip into ennui when you don't have any kind of like like obvious cycle to stuff.
Yeah, it's
That's
fucked up.
Specific to where we're at too.
It's that old Simon Rex song, "L.A. is like Groundhog Day."
Yeah,
Just every day is the same.
Mm-hmm.
dude, I had a dream about Simon Rex. I'll probably cut this, but I had a dream with him that he was forcing me to have sex with him. Never had that dream before in my life, and I woke up fucking terrified.
Nice, dude.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, you could cut that.
That's true though. It's
He's
true.
in your zeitgeist.
It's real, bro. I woke up and I was like, "What the fuck was that, man?"
Yeah. I wonder what that means.
I do too. He crushed it in Red Rocket though.
Did you see it?
I did.
We saw
I
it.
gotta
Yeah.
see it. I gotta
good.
see it.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
He's got. There's a couple scenes where he's got to get dark.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of dark the whole time because he's like like
Right.
a grifter, like
Yeah.
kind of manipulator dude.
Yeah.
But the scenes where he gets dark,
Yeah.
it's real, man. He's fucking good.
That's awesome. I'm glad.
Maybe that
he's-
was the performance was so effective.
Yeah, he's in your dreams, man.
Do you have a quote of the week?
Do I have a quote of the week? Oh man, I mean, what was my kids always say like the craziest shit? You know what I mean? Where it's like just a gem. But I can't think a quote of the week off the top of my head. No, I don't have a quote of the week. Like, is this one you guys heard this week, or this can just be a quote that you're presenting this week?
Both.
Both.
You could make one up off the top of your dome.
I guess, yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe my quote of the week, and then will you just give me, either one of you give me like a genre of what it should be about kind of thing. This is like a bad improv,
Okay.
right? Like inspirational or reflective, or, and then I'll just make one up based on that.
reflective.
Reflective. Let Greg Odom move on, and then you will also move on.
You'll be free.
Well, that's not what I said.
Look,
But you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be free, yeah.
Sorry.
Like,
I felt that.
you know what I mean? Like,
That was really good.
because we were talking about it earlier, and it did. You know when you get on in the comments and you start typing and you're like, how am I wording this? And then you just delete it because you're like, who fucking
It's not
cares?
worth it.
Who
Yeah.
cares? But like, I got so fired up when I saw people be like, so sad, man. Like, can you imagine? It would have been so dope. And it's like, he's still alive. Don't keep him in that box. He might bring something completely different to the world potentially, and better and more impactful than what he did with basketball. Maybe he won't. I don't know. But maybe he will. So let's stop being like, man, I wish he was still balling.
Let's not act as if the story's over too, just because it didn't go the way we thought was like supposed to happen.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you mind if our social media guy posts like a photo of your face with that quote?
No.
I think that could become a meme
Yeah.
for sure.
Hey, like I said, it's not up to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's greater.
You know what I
I just-
mean?
like
It's
a
God's
black,
People say
ways.
that?
a black
It's
and white
God's
photo
ways,
with
dude.
like white font,
Uh-huh.
and we'll find a photo of you just looking inquisitive.
Whoa,
yeah, we can just
dude,
take
you
that
nailed
still.
that.
Yeah, we take that still.
Bro.
Jack, did you see that?
That's what you were talking about, bro.
Guys, I'm blushing. I'm blushing. I'm going to wet my pants. Yeah, I guess that's my quote. Just because it fucking pissed me off. The internet fucking drives me crazy.
Oh yeah.
Right? I got to go to the fucking Costa Rica. Where were you?
Rio Expo, Mexico.
Mexico. I got to go to Mexico and unplug. Because I'm addicted to the phone, right?
Me too,
Isn't
man.
it so
It's
sad?
crazy.
I think I talked to you guys about Squid Games last time I stopped by.
Yeah, did
And I was
Yeah.
like,
And we almost potted.
yeah, we almost potted. Then we departed. With the accent of Boston. God, I should have done stand up. I would have found my voice and realized maybe I shouldn't have done that joke.
think
I
was
liked
good,
it.
dude.
I liked it.
Yeah.
But everyone loves Squid Games, and it was good. I just finished it because I was busy watching Sopranos. Started Squid Games, finished Squid Games. It's amazing, with the exception of all the American actors. Shots fired. Because weren't they horrible?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm 3 episodes in.
Oh, it's great. Okay, so you're enjoying it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's." My theory of why everyone loves it is because it's subtitled, so you can't be on your phone, or else you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Oh, interesting.
Right? So everyone's like, "Dude, it was just so engrossing. Like I felt like, yeah, because you had to pay attention for the first time. Like normally, even when it's something I really want to fucking watch, like Sophie's Choice or whatever, to not pick up my phone and watch Sophie's Choice was so fucking hard. And then eventually, of course, after like an hour, you're like deep into the movie if it's good. If it's not, you're like, let me just check what the fucking, But when there's subtitles, you can't do that.
It's so funny you say my review literally of movies now. When someone asks me if a movie's good, I go, I paid attention. Like I'm like my brother's like, was the new Kingsman movie good?
Right.
I was like, it didn't feel like the other Kingsman movies. It felt like a little comic booky, but I was like, I paid attention.
There should be like a the phone pickup marker. Like, dude, it was 7 minutes in, I grabbed my phone, or like 2 hours in, or I never grab my phone. Like that's the marker of how good it is.
That's the measurement for how good it is.
But I know I've been here a long time, but the first Kingsman movie, the end of that movie,
Anal sex
is
It's
insane.
That's
insane.
right. I totally forgot about
But
that.
it makes it's like ridiculous, and I don't like it. But I'm almost like, I kind of think it works because it makes you. It just went there in a way that was like
the craziest moment in a movie in the last 20 years.
I agree
bar
with you.
none. Where it's like, hey, if I save the day, can I fuck you in the ass? And she's like, yeah, because you're obviously not going to save the day. And then he saves the day, and it's not like a quick, hey, all right. There's a real slow wind up to him, like walking back to the room. I'm about to go fuck this girl in the ass, like high-fiving people. Then he gets there. The doors close. She knows it's on, but she's cool about it, which is great. He knows it's on. And then there's a dude who's on like the security cameras who's like, oh, they're really going to start fucking in the... Like, I was like, this is no longer enjoyable.
And the fact that they made it anal too, where it's like I almost think they were, and this takes away the absurdity a little bit. It's like, I think because Bond movies always end with Bond sleeping with it. They're like, all right, well, how do we twist that up a little bit with some like new edginess? We're like, we'll make it anal.
And
then you're like, but you really ended a $100 million movie with anal sex? Like, are you fucking nuts, dude?
But also, like, she said it knowing that he wouldn't save the world. Do you know what I mean? We're like,
it was an empty
if
promise.
you go, hey, I'm going to jump off this building, will you pay me $1 million? I'd go, yeah. But then if you did it and you like army crawled over to me with broken legs and you were like, where's your $1 million? I'd go, dude, obviously I didn't mean that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
You almost don't like the protagonist as much because you're like, oh, you actually made her follow through on the anal sex promise. Like, don't you think a gentleman, someone from the Kingsman would have walked in there and been like, hey, that whole thing, like, we'll get there when we get
someday.
there. Yeah, we'll get there when we get there.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll just take you out to coffee for this first one. Yeah.
But, or even if she,
he's like, hey, I'm back and I did it.
if he was like,
Yeah.
if he was like, can we do anal? And she goes, yeah, if you save the world, we could do anal. And then he comes back, he's like, I'm about to do anal. And then she goes, okay, yeah, bend over.
Right. If he got pegged.
Dude,
Not even that he's gonna that he's getting pegged, but that she's like, you didn't say who.
Right.
Like, and that's more fun. She's funny. She's got a sense of humor. Oh, you thought you were gonna come back here and fuck me in the ass? No.
I can't believe that got through all the script rewrites.
Crazy.
And that, like, whoever, Warner Brothers, whoever produced it was like, good ending.
Co-written by a woman though, so like
That helps.
They have that. Can you imagine if?
I'd like to know whose idea it was.
Matthew Vaughn, dude, just straight out of his dome was like, I'd love to have a movie end with just some anal.
Is it based on a comic book?
It feels like it, especially this last one.
If it is, maybe it was in the comic book, but like
that
in
makes sense. 'Cause comic
'88
books
or
are
some
for
shit.
like 13-year-olds too. Yeah.
But they had like in like the mid '90s, they started doing like the more adult comic books, like Dark Horse and
Watchmen
shit,
type shit. Yeah.
where like it's a little rougher than like X-Men.
These are the bad guys. These are the good guys. Everything's good. It's like when Gray came into comic books, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, but come on, that ending. And like, I'm not like a prude.
I'm a prude, and I was like, "This is weird." Yeah.
I'm the guy who made and wrote Game Over Man for Netflix. Check it out. There's a lot of fucking weird shit in there, but this was just like, Gross.
Dude, when I say the new Kingsman doesn't feel like the other Kingsman movies, it's because it's literally devoid of those kind of scenes.
I haven't seen the second one. Was the second one good?
Second one doesn't have anything that like raunchy in it. It feels more like the other Kingsman, but none of them have gone to that extent.
Good?
Yeah.
Great.
Probably.
By the way, the clothes you can buy from the Kingsman on like Mr. Porter.
Beautiful.
Did you know this?
Oh, you can actually buy 'em?
Kingsman clothes?
Like the actual, not the like from the movie, like
But, like,
the ones
the
that they
style?
wore, but like the exact same stuff
Really?
you can buy on Mr. Porter. It is not cheap, and some of it's fucking sick.
I'm in, dude. Next time we hang, let's all drop in some dapper suits and
Channing Tatum is in the second one.
yeah, and
in like
Pedro
cowboy
Pascal.
gear, right?
Yeah, like the
Oh,
American
he's a-
version of
he's a whiskey
Kingsman.
guy, yeah.
you can
okay.
buy his whole suit. Like it's fucking kind of sick.
He's having fun in it. Yeah.
I'm like, am I gonna buy a suit from the Kingsman movie? What was that?
Sorry.
Would you farted?
No.
That was you?
Yeah, I cleared my throat.
I mean, when you have
Oh.
that beautiful of a
That
voice,
sounded- it
when you've
sounded
got
like
that
a
nice,
popcorn
smooth
popper.
baritone,
It
takes
sounded
some-
like a knock.
it needs
Yeah.
some clearance.
Sorry, not to embarrass you, but
Can you do,
just
can you
through
do it
the
again real
headphones.
quick? Well, no.
Oh,
do it.
okay.
Yeah, that
More
sounded
guttural.
better.
Okay.
Though. More. It was more like
I think when it was like in the arm, I was.
it was more like Van Morrison's voice. It was like a motorcycle driving on gravel.
Mm.
There it
Yeah,
is.
there we go. Yeah, that.
There's your quote.
I actually picked that up from Rolling Stone Top 40 Artists of All Time.
He's good.
But
I
that's how
wanted
they
to go
describe
see
Bruce's
him.
voice.
He was just here in LA, wasn't he?
He's still kicking?
Yeah.
God bless him.
Yeah.
Not into the Mystic yet.
Nice. Yeah.
Because he's got that crazy love.
Hey guys,
I just keep stretching it.
second lull.
Yeah, well, dude,
What's the lull record?
we had a couple with, do you know Jimmy Tatro?
Yeah, I love that dude.
Yeah, we had him on for our last recording. We had some nice lulls.
Yeah.
I love a good lull. I'm
I
trying to
have-
get more comfortable with them though.
Short inside baseball story. Ready? This sitcom he's on,
Home economics.
Home Economics. My like agents reached out to me and they're like, "Hey, so they really like you for this show, Home Economics. Here's the script." I read it. I'm like, "This is fucking really good. This is really well written." Jimmy Tatro has the offer right now. If he passes, it's gonna come to you. And I was like, "Oh fuck, he's really funny. He's kind of young for it though. Like, the guy's like a family man, and like Jimmy could be like a movie star. Like, I don't know if I would do it if I was him." He DM'd me because I've just met him a few times. He DM'd me and was like, "Yo, man, I got a question. I'm up for this sitcom and I like it. I just don't know if it's the right move for me." And I was like, "Is this a joke?" And I hit my manager up. I go, "The dude who's got the movie, who if he passes on it, I get the part that I like, actually really like, just DM'd me to be like,
Should I do this?
yo, man, what do you think? I like making my own stuff. You did your own thing. Should I keep doing that?" And so I call him. I go, "Full disclosure, right out of the gate. If you pass on this, they're offering it to me, and I'm for sure gonna take it." I was like, "I love this part. I think it's great for me." But I was like, "But you are super funny, and if I were you, I think you're super fucking talented. You got your own show. You're starting to be in movies, and I don't know if you want to play like a dad when you're like 28 or whatever. I don't know how old he is, because then you're a dad already. And really, when you're gonna have a long career, like think about Adam Sandler. He wasn't a dad until he was like
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy, and
And
even
he's
in
not
Big
even a real
Daddy,
dad.
he was like 35 or 38.
Yeah, and he's like a surrogate father in
Yeah,
that.
and like he's in the murder mystery movies, right?
Mhm.
And he's like, "Well, are we gonna get married?" It's like, dude, you're almost 60 years old.
Yeah.
So like, I was kind of like, maybe don't be a dad yet and ride it out. But I was like, but again, if you do, I'm telling you how I honestly feel. But also, if you do pass, I get this part, or I don't get the part, but they offer it to me. So just know that. And he took it and is also doing movies. But I was like, this is fucking hilarious. I think he's super funny.
When you were
He's a
getting
great guy.
tested in like that's like a biblical test almost. You know what I mean? It's like you have this moment where you're like, I could tell this dude to pass.
But again, like at some point, if I told him to pass and then I did get the part or whatever,
how's that gonna look to him?
yeah. Like, and I like him every time I run into him.
He's a great dude.
He's super funny. He isn't just like some annoying guy. He's like interesting to talk to. So I just kept it real and was like, I want you to pass. Please pass. But know that I'm gonna get the offer.
Right.
And I would love for the producers to hear this and be like, we weren't gonna offer it to you. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you might have gotten the offer like after we went to everyone else in town. But yeah, that was like a funny Tatro story that I said was gonna be short.
No, it was a great story.
I like that
That was
story,
awesome.
yeah.
Inside
Nice synergy,
baseball.
too.
And that's
Good
how it works,
stuff.
guys. You don't always get the part, and you can lie to people you kind of know who you run into at parties, or you can tell the truth.
The choice is up to you.
Yeah. So you guys had a bunch of lulls with him?
No, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a couple.
Yeah.
But just, I
if
think
I'd known that.
but aren't the lulls too a natural reaction to like when you just get into a nice groove with someone and you build up to this high energy point and then there's a natural kind of reset after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the lulls I think are well earned.
Right.
Fucking A, man.
Third lull.
It's nice. Should we sit in it?
Are you going to fucking clear your throat again?
You should say God's waves.
I should have
into the
cleared my
mic.
throat like 45 minutes ago, and I just haven't.
Oh wait, let's hear it.
God's waves.
That was nice. You
Dude,
have
that-
like the double voice, where there's like I can hear your voice, but then there's also the like reverberation part. Like
Okay.
Or do you guys know what I'm
Whoa,
saying?
yeah.
Mhm.
Do you hear it?
There's an afterlife to his.
Like just say like I'm gonna go to the store. I'll be back.
I'm going to go to the store. I'll be back.
Whoa.
So there's the like probably what you sounded like when you were a younger voice in there, and then it's like the double deep. Did you have a crazy like voice changing?
No, but it used to be a lot higher when I was a kid.
Yeah, of course.
Interesting.
That'd be I hope so. That would be insane if you were like, "Rah, rah,
Dude,
rah."
3 years old.
I need a bottle.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about the voice changing thing.
Oh,
When you're a
dude.
kid,
It's usually people with super deep voice. They come out on the other side like, "What's up?" Yeah, because of
I was
course.
so jealous of dudes who got Adam's apples. I was like, "Fuck, he's got an Adam's apple. That's sick."
Oh, I didn't
Right.
even think those are something you develop
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Like-
those pop.
later.
Yeah.
Whoa, I didn't even think about that.
Oh yeah, I was like, I gotta get a nice Adam's
What do you
apple.
got? Let me see.
You got a good one, dude.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, what's cool about yours is there's not too much space above it, because it's those guys that have all the space above it that you're like reptilian. It looks
Yeah, it's
reptilian.
It's jutting out too much. It looks
It's
like
too
a
much.
like a snake eating something that's like
Right.
passing through.
Right.
My brother Bill has a pretty dope one.
No shit.
Yeah, I think that's why I was so because I look up to him, so I was like,
Right.
I gotta get one like Bill's.
That's rough. When you're older, I got older brothers, and when they have something you want physically,
Like pubes.
yeah.
My brother got pubes before me and he's younger.
No
that
way.
work?
And he was bigger than me, dude. So like when
Whoa.
we fought,
Yeah.
it wasn't like a big brother bullying a little brother. It was like every time me and my
It
brother
was
got
like
in
a
a fight,
furry child.
I was like, I gotta bring it,
Dude,
dude.
Yeah.
that's gotta do something. If your younger brother has pubes before you,
Dude, we went to a doctor to test where I was at in the puberty train, which was taking a necklace that had different sized nuts on it and comparing them to my nuts. And I was 20,
Wait, what doctor?
bro, Orange County, brother. And then, and then I wanted my brother to stay in the room for the nut measurement because I trust him. But my mom, they're like,
Yeah.
it has to be a parent. My mom was like, I will do it.
Right.
But dude, so they get this puberty chart out, which is probably pretty arbitrary. But they go, you're 2 years behind, and your brother's 2 years in front.
Wow.
And he was 20 months younger than me, 22 months younger than me.
Wow.
So he was 2 months ahead of me on the puberty train.
wow.
They kept calling it a train. And then they're like, it's a puberty
OC, bro.
train.
Um,
Yeah.
That's wild. And what is this necklace? This nut necklace you're talking about?
So it's like a necklace that looks like it could be, fit for some older style of living.
Okay.
And then it's like, it had different like bead nuts on it. And it got progressively different. They got progressively bigger, and then they were
This
different
is
colors.
just anal beads at a doctor's office.
Exactly. And then they would take so I was like an orange nut, which meant I was like small nuts. And my brother didn't measure his nuts, but I think he was like green nuts.
How did you not talk about this earlier when we were like
I talk about it all the time. I just
talking
didn't
about
wanna-
balls?
I didn't want to.
We gotta. If we go on, I'm
You
gonna go on
right, you
Amazon.
right.
I'm gonna order one of these.
I'll reach out to my folks. And dude, then the drive home, my dad was like, we're all silent. Everyone was really sad for me
Right.
because they were like,
Right.
JT might never have like
Yeah.
a man body. And then my dad goes, JT, there's bigger things in the world than that stuff. And I just started crying and I
Oh,
snapped and I
God.
went, shut
No.
the fuck up. shut the fuck
That's
up.
like getting that fist bump.
Yeah, I was like, this is bullshit. I'm fucking sad.
Let me out.
Let me out.
Let me out. I'm walking.
I was like, I'm disfigured, bro. And then, but it all worked out, dude.
Yeah. I didn't get armpit hair until college.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
What are
Yeah.
you rocking now?
I have like a little triangle of chest hair,
Nice, dude.
you know? Yeah, no, wait, not even close to
I was that level at 7th grade, though.
Jesus. So
Whoa,
what was
you
your
had
brother?
Chest hair, no pubes.
Chest hair, no pubes, dude. Back hair, no pubes.
That's a rough combo. Wait,
Fucking brutal.
I mean, I guess I got pubes
fucking pool parties were a fucking nightmare, man.
in like 7th or 8th grade.
I had some
Dude.
pubes, but it was like not like.
But when did you get chest hair?
Fuck, man, it's all confusing. I think like 8th grade, 9th grade. Yeah,
Wow. I remember like
I might have exaggerated.
swimming
there.
as like a senior, and there'd always be like some freshman new kid at a rival high school or even on your own team who like shows up with a beard and chest hair, and you're like, the fuck's going on over there?
What's the deal, bro? Yeah, it's not the right time for
I
it.
still don't have like what I assumed. I grew up in a college town, Evanston, Illinois, where Northwestern is, and you would just see like college kids running around with beards as like a 12-year-old and like just throwing frisbee and shit, and you're like, I guess any day now.
Yeah.
I still don't look as hairy as those guys.
Dude.
No, but you got good. I'm looking at your legs right now. You got a nice distribution of follicles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the leg hair is probably my strongest
I
attribute.
I admired your facial hair on our last recording.
My mustache can get there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my father had one, and my mother's brother had a strong mustache, and I actually look like Uncle Bobby when I put a
Nice.
mustache on. My cousin always hits me up and he's like, you know who you look like. R.I.P.
Dude,
Oh, really?
do you remember the first kid who could jizz?
Yeah.
I remember Aria Torshizi.
Sure, tore it up.
Sorry, Aria.
Dude, I've told
you're
this story.
listening.
I've told this story before. About
He's like, we're good.
Yeah, yeah.
You said first, not last.
Dude, he's like, yeah, jizz. He's like, yeah, he's like, is 6th grade? He's like,
Whoa.
yeah, bro, I jacked off and I jizzed. I was like, what?
9th grade.
Yeah.
For me.
He's like, really?
9th
Yeah.
grade, huh?
I was late, bro. I remember the
For you
first
to
time.
jizz?
Yeah, 9th grade till I jizzed.
Yeah, dude, 7th grade, I think.
I could have helped you with that.
How? Bro.
I would be like, let's
talk
see what I
about
can
it
get
off
out of
mic.
here.
Yeah, let's talk about it off
I
mic,
told
dude.
you we got to hang off.
Yeah, yeah, you sound really fun, actually.
Come to the Grove.
Yeah.
Come to the Grove.
Dude, please come to the Grove. I mentioned this thing on the pod.
Dude,
yeah.
yours taught me how to jizz more.
Yeah.
Dude, my loads are just
They were
out of this world.
They were taking down the Christmas tree, and we were just behind that, and he fucking said I had slack and jacked me off.
You know the workaholics guys? They know loads.
They're good guys.
We do know loads.
They're really good guys.
Yeah, I don't know when that happened. I definitely remember it happening and being like, because it's dry, and we've talked about this on our podcast, of course.
How fun that was when it was dry.
When it was dry, you're like, sensation. I guess that's it. And then one day it's like,
Clean up.
yeah, and then your mom looks at you like,
Please don't ruin all the towels.
Right.
Yeah, please don't
Yeah.
take your shorts off
yeah,
before you do this.
Dude,
Dude,
I feel bad because when I was doing foreign exchange in Spain,
yeah,
my senior year of high school, I was living with a host family.
right.
I was jizzed everywhere.
Like
It was just
the
obvious.
floor.
Hey, brother, let me
No,
let me free you, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, dude,
yeah,
let me
yeah.
free you. You should not feel bad about that.
Dude, they knew.
That's okay. You're a young man. You're supposed to be doing that.
Right.
How do you say? What is in Spain?
Maybe
like,
ejacular.
Bango.
A bongo?
I
Yeah.
made it up. Bango.
Okay.
Ejaculado.
yeah.
Bango. Mucho bango.
But
Chaddy.
but you're saying the Spanish version of
Mucho bango,
ejaculate.
chatty.
What's their jizz? What's their fun word?
El Diablo. They put a big, like, it's a lot of Christianity.
Right,
over
exactly,
there.
for
Yeah.
sure. Catholicism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a lot of shame around. I'm Colombian. I'm allowed to rip
They
on
call it
this.
buffalo sauce.
Yeah.
No.
Muy tango.
Not a good callback.
Championes.
Hey, you're weaving, baby.
Yeah.
Dude,
Dude,
mushrooms are championes.
I've told this story a lot. I used to have my friends come over and we'd all watch porn together and we'd make little huts and jay off under them. And all my boys.
Really?
Yeah, it was fun, dude.
Yeah, never
and all
got
my
there.
boys were starting. It wasn't weird because I was like, I had a lot of leadership qualities. But me and all my boys were jaying off in our little forts, and my boys were starting to bust, like something was coming out.
Right.
And so I didn't want to be left behind, so I faked it, and I went to the bathroom, and I thought it was like pee,
Right.
where you could hold it in.
Right.
So I was knocking on the door, going, "Guys, I'm about to bust. Open the door. Open the door."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Guys, that was so close." Like I almost busted into my shorts, and then all my friends were like, "It doesn't work that way," and I got totally called out. It was humiliating, dude. Even my parents, they were listening from upstairs, and they went, "Dude, you sound like an idiot right now."
Yeah.
So
That's not how bust works. My mom was like super like, just like you made a laughing stock out of
Did
yourself.
this
You don't
happen?
bust like that, JT.
Did this party happen in a post Jackass world?
Around the same time.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
That makes sense.
So I grew up pre Jackass, and that just didn't fly. Like homosexual stuff, it just was so much more. You just didn't do it, and then Jackass came, pun intended, and they were so kind of homoerotic with each other that it just let the doors down for dudes to be more homosexual about stuff.
I love that. They were like a force for cultural good in terms of like taking camaraderie to where it really belongs.
Exactly. Because I remember there were a couple dudes on the swim team who are not gay, but like this was like around the time when Jackass was coming out, and they were doing stuff that I was like, yo, what are you doing, bro? Like, and they're like, I'm just fucking around. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I just didn't know that was, but I think
You were in
that
the deep end.
yeah, but I think like Jackass, they made it just kind of goofy and fun to be like, yeah, let me tie this thing to your dick, which like if I'm in high school or middle school, that era, you're not really doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I knew one guy who jacked off his dog, but like even everybody thought that was crazy.
That is
Right.
Yeah. I think even post Jackass era, they're like, yeah, dude, we all jack off our dog.
There's always that guy, dude. I had a buddy. Jeff.
You had a friend who jacked off his dog.
I had a
Oh, dude,
friend
I
who-
think I did too. Oh,
I
fuck.
got humped by my. We used to let my dog hump us in front of everybody.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
right?
that's
then,
hilarious.
yeah, and then my
Right,
dog.
but would you let your
busted
but
on
so you and in that era post
Busted on
Jackass,
me.
you might even let your homie hump on you as a joke, right?
and, well,
But I'd be like, so what are you doing?
I think
'Cause
it's to me it's Spartan because like I wasn't even on the football team, but my buddies during two-a-days, they'd be like these horned up 16-year-olds with too much testosterone,
Right.
And they would like, my buddy Andrew was complaining that our other buddy, who I won't name, like was humping him
Yeah.
as a joke,
Yeah.
but he said he could feel him get hard,
Right.
And he was like kind of like pissed at that point.
Ultimate dominance.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then my other buddy's like hyper dominant, great guys,
Yeah.
family man now,
Yeah.
and like super solid, and like I trust him with my life.
Yeah.
But he just he had a lot of free flowing tea, and
For sure.
he put it on Andrew's butt. But it was all like I never like I mean I think it was funny, but I never gave it a second thought. I was all like, yeah, football's boring, and these dudes are horny, and they're stuck together.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah, and then me and my boys, we used to have just big jackety jack off parties.
Yeah, that's wild.
And on
to me.
vacation, dude, one time I'll probably cut this. Me and my buddy, we had 2 hotel rooms, right? We were on spring break. My family brought a bunch of my homies on spring
Should we
break.
explain what docking is before you say
What's
I'm just kidding.
docking?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
Docking is where you put your dicks together. But go ahead.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But me and my homie were jacking it in one room.
Yeah.
And my one buddy kept banging on the door because he wanted to find like a fire outfit to wear out that night.
Right.
And I kept being like, dude, leave us the fuck alone.
Right.
Like, we're doing something. We'll
Right.
be out in an hour. It's all good.
Right.
And he wouldn't stop doing it. And so finally I busted. I opened the door and I slapped him in the chest with it.
Whoa.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like that just I don't even know if now, post Jackass, I could handle that.
Dude, it might be too much, but let me honestly say this. It was all good. He did stuff like that to me, and
Yeah.
I was the best man at his wedding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this the end of the pod now?
No. Because and look, this is because American Pie came out before Jackass, right?
And came out before I did this.
And
yeah.
the ultimate like diss in that movie is when he drank the beer of jizz.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like drinking a jizz beer in 2022, somebody's fucking done it just to be the fucking crazy guy at the party
Just
now.
to be the edgy guy who's not afraid of things.
And
right.
nobody cares.
Yeah.
No, it's not even. By the way, it matters for a week, and then people just move on. Whereas if someone did that in my high school as a joke, it'd be the first thing anyone ever talks about.
Dude, there's kind of a badassness, like an edgelordness quality to being the guy who will go there and be unafraid of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I used
Like
to
a pioneer.
I used to make out with some of my dude friends in
Right.
front of like really big alpha male guys
See?
to just freak them the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then we would just die laughing
Yeah.
at how bugged out these like kind of Neanderthalish dudes would respond to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I gotta go.
Yeah. No, I think we're almost there though.
Yeah.
That might get cut.
No.
Chad, what's your phrase of the week for getting after it?
Phrase of the week for getting after it. Dudes, I think I just busted a load.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time.
Mm-hmm.
What's your phrase of the week for getting after it?
Did you enjoy that, or were you kind of? I can't tell how you.
I let you have that.
You let me have that.
Yeah, I
moment?
thought it was fun. Yeah, I liked it.
I wasn't asking if you thought it was. I was just like, did you
No,
feel
yeah,
it?
yeah. I felt it. I felt like a little bit of motivation.
Okay, cool.
Like just a little, not like a fully. I think mine might be. And this is a metaphor. This isn't specific, and it's something that has a little bit of backstory. But let's go get some snacks.
Oh, nice. Is that Rex Ryan?
No, that is me and the Workaholics dudes filming sketch comedy before everything. We were filming with these like guns outside of a school, and 2 police squad cars fucking roll up, open the doors, pull guns on us, and they're like, hands in the air, hands in the air. We're like, what the fuck's going on? And they're like, somebody said you guys were over here cleaning guns. We're like, we're filming a sketch comedy. Like, they're not real. It's a fucking joke. And the guy's like, I was ready to fucking blow your head off, kid. And I'm like, all right, well, he's like, just pack it up, get out of here. And he turns to the other fucking officers like, let's go get some snacks. And so like me and the dudes have said that, like, let's go get some snacks.
Dude, those guys
for 20 years now.
psychotic.
That's
but
amazing.
Hilarious.
Yeah. And I was like, and back then I was like, you were just going to go around the corner and blow my head off without like figuring out what the situation was. And now I'm like, yeah, you got to do it. You got to just go blow somebody's head off.
Do you think they still would have got snacks had they blown your head off?
Yeah, eventually.
Right. Snacks are
What
crucial.
kind
Maybe-
of snacks do you think they got?
Slim Jim.
Funyuns? Oh,
I
dude,
mean,
Slim Jim, yeah.
Funyuns where I was going to go, but then I was thinking about the triangle Doritos, the pyramid one, like the 3D Doritos.
Right. The
Right,
ones
yeah,
that
is
are
that what
kinda
they were
like,
called?
they have like the circular shape to
Yeah,
them.
they're overwhelmingly good.
Is that what they're called? The 3D,
3D,
nacho?
yeah.
Yeah, dude, those are good.
Yeah. Like those seem to sit with you for a while. So if you're a cop and you're out potentially blowing the heads off of sketch comedy performers, just trying to shoot something to get famous, I feel like that would sit right.
For sure. My quote of the week is I didn't know, I just got curious the other day about the origins of the labeling of plastic surgeon for someone who does plastic surgery. I was like, why do they call it plastic surgery? And I thought it was because plastic, they meant like the stuff that they put in people is plastic. Do you know this?
I mean, I'm just guessing that it's like you're fake, so you're plastic.
It's not. So that's what I thought. It's not that. It comes from the Greek word plastikos, which means to mold.
Oh.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa, that makes a lot of sense. And it's like, kind of elevates it from what I thought was like kind of a derisive label.
That should be on their like business card, you know, like I'm a plastic surgeon. You go, oh, okay. And then you read the card and you go, oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it kind of elevates what they do. So it
Yeah.
means to mold. And then I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But I just always thought it was kind of like a cheap association. But like, no, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
They
it's
should put a K on the end.
right.
To be
To switch it up.
Like, this
Extra
is Greek.
Greek. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a K on the end.
So that kind of blew my mind. So
Yeah.
my phrase of the week is to mold.
Well, there's
Yeah,
plastic
plasticos.
surgeons out there that like, you know, like fix burn victims and stuff and like
Yeah.
put faces on people, which never really works. But like at some point, I bet they figure it out.
This is a plastic surgeon. It's a mole I had.
Is
I love that you
is
have that,
plastic
though.
surgery?
Yeah, because my parents wanted me to not have such a severe scar, so I got it done by a plastic surgeon.
Oh, so you had a mole removed that left a scar?
Yeah, it was like
And then they
this
said, "Let's
big, and
cover
they're
it up."
like they had to do it 3 times because they can't just cut out all that skin.
Right. It's so that you had like a divot and they filled it in.
Yeah, so they cut out half,
Yeah.
stitched that up.
Yeah.
cut the other half, stitch that up.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Did you say like, hey, while I'm in here,
Give me some nice bubbles.
give me some nice nuts?
Dude,
Nuts, yeah,
well,
that's
actually,
funny.
his
Yeah.
What's your? You have the bead, the necklace.
yeah. It's like, I got some excess skin. Yeah.
Can you just
Yeah.
put those away, please?
I want them tight and taut.
Yeah, dude.
And
What was funny
shiny.
is like his like wife was sort of like the head nurse or whatever, and she's like, "He's great. Look at what he's done to me." I was like, "That's awesome."
Yeah.
Oh, right.
What if? And guess what? She says that 20 times a day.
Yeah.
That's like her go-to.
Yeah.
I've gone down a rabbit hole of on Instagram watching before and after. Sorry, not even before and after, but seeing nose jobs done for the first time,
Oh.
where they like reveal it to the person. What?
Oh, is it gnarly?
No.
Oh.
It's like it's when they've done the nose job and then they're wearing the thing.
Oh.
and
I
they
thought you
come
meant
back.
the actual operation.
No. This is like the reveal of the person who's gotten the surgery, and they're seeing their new nose for the first time, and it's. I watched it for like a half hour.
Is it
one
kind of
night.
beautiful? Like, do they cry and they feel so happy?
So, you don't see the before until you see the new nose.
That's smart.
Okay. So when you see the person's reaction and you see them like smile and get stoked, and they can't wait to live this new life and not have that self-conscious thing about their nose, you see that, and like people cry, and the doctor's like, take a look, and holds up the mirror, and it's emotional for these people, not me. And then they show the before next to the after next to the before, and sometimes you're like, oh wow, like yeah, I can see why they might have wanted a nose job, but then sometimes you're like, oh, like you had like something, you had a look, and now you just are kind of
Like everyone else.
standard American. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're just standard American. You don't have a nose that might represent your like ethnicity or where you're from. Something might make you distinguished or like set you apart from a lot of other people, where you're like, you were kind of hot with the nose, and now that you don't have the nose, you're just kind of, now you're pretty. And does that distinction
you lose
make
some
sense?
character, and you kind of, I was getting real dramatic about it in my brain. I'm like, you kind of like take away your story.
You take
Like-
away your story.
Like your face is a
Yeah.
story of who you are, and now you're like, you know what? I don't like this story, and it's a new one. But
Right.
you're like, but you're piggybacking off someone else's story or trying to
Yeah.
be someone else's story, and now you've lost like this
Yeah.
critical essence that was you.
And I can't wait till we get to a point because this is, I don't know, maybe widely a more American thing, where like people come here and they see a certain standard of beauty and they want to replicate that, where like eventually we're going to get to a point where like people are going to go, you change your nose like those people? Why?
Like it's more hot to
Like-
be the other thing because it's more rare.
Well, no, because it won't be abnormal, because there'll be so many people with a certain nose or a certain look, a certain aesthetic, a certain bone structure that aren't trying to look like white Americans or whatever, right? Where you'll get to a point where it's like, why did you want to look like that? And you didn't realize that a long time ago there weren't many people who looked a certain way, and it was uncomfortable, and they just wanted to blend in and not get looked at or teased or feel different. I think that, but you should go on and just watch the reveals. It's amazing.
Dude,
And babes.
that's interesting. I thought you were talking about the operation, because I heard the
No,
operation is gnarly.
Yeah, they have to break your nose and like pull
Yeah.
pieces out and all
It's
that.
Oh,
gnarly.
jeez.
No, this is just the like, have a look in the mirror, and then they look and they're like, it's perfect. It's so cute. Oh my God, it's so, you got rid of the thing. And then they show the before and you go, oh yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Like, or like they get rid of like more down here or something. But then other people, you're like, now you look kind of, I don't want to sound like a weird fetishist or whatever, but like now you're kind of boring and you just are.
Well, that's like,
Whatever.
imagine if Owen Wilson got a nose job. He had like
I don't want to.
If he had a button nose.
Yeah, fuck that.
He's like, what's up, dudes? You're just like, what the fuck,
No, there's
dude?
something sexy about.
I don't want to be
someone who
mean,
can
but then you're
own-
Luke Wilson.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
Jalen Rose was doing like a draft guide for the NBA one time, and he was
Right.
talking about Anthony Davis, who was going to go number one,
Right.
and he was like, "What I like about Anthony Davis is he didn't change his eyebrows.
Right.
He's like, that shows to me like strength of character that he stuck with it.
Right.
And I'm not trying to critique anyone. I know some people have gotten plastic surgery and they're way happier afterwards.
Right.
So I think it can go either way. But
Yeah.
I do think there's something to like, you know, like Larry David lost his hair so early on, and I think he's even had some work done, but like he lost it. But it seems like he's having work to stay who he is, not become something else.
Right.
Which
Well,
is slightly different.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
It? Yeah. No.
Well, some
I
people
know what
go
you're
in
saying.
a new direction. They're like, I
Yes.
want a new face, and then some people are like, I just don't want to lose my face. I want
Right.
to keep this as close to me being at my best as I can.
If you guys now this is just projecting where your bodies or your faces or whatever might go. If you were in a situation when you are 50 or let's say 60, because then things probably have really gone to hell if they're ever going to by that point. 50, I bet we could still maintain. This is Hollywood. If you turn 60 and they go, hey, you have to get a plastic surgery, like some sort of plastic surgery done, what are you going to get?
What would I
What
get?
would you get? Like, would you get like bags removed or like this thing down here or like cool sculpt your titties or like lipo or like hair transplant? I mean, you're a hair guy. What do we do if we lose it?
Yeah, I think hair transplant's the move.
And I don't want to hit too close to home.
I think hair transplant's a good call.
Calf implants.
tough.
I take Propecia,
Yeah.
so I'm trying.
Because your mom's dad.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
Exactly, and I saw it starting to go, and I was like, I'm just not ready for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I dye it black too. I'd probably be like 30% gray.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. Like if you look at my stripe that's coming back, because you know we gave ourselves these haircuts to
Oh,
protect the
yeah.
Amazon.
Oh,
Like, look
dude,
at this
skunk.
stripe. Yeah.
Full skunk.
Exactly. Yeah.
What do they say in The Great Outdoors? You got a kind of a neo skunk thing going on there.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Dude, I think I do something to my balls. Just bigger balls. No, I don't know.
No, that was fun. I was just I was living in that
Yeah,
moment. I liked it. That
I
was
was
a good
letting
answer.
it go.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I don't know what I do.
Would you add a ball? Give me one more. Oh my god.
Give me another ball.
Do you guys want to hear the dumbest joke ever?
Yes.
During the pandemic, they had like a Johnny Carson radio on Sirius. I don't know if you guys caught it at all, but they were just playing old episodes. And they had some stand-up guy on who told a joke where this guy goes to the doctor and he's got a voice like this. And he goes, "Doctor, look, I got a voice like this. I hate it. Everyone thinks I'm a weirdo. But I've got these beautiful balls, no joke. And sex life is great. Got no complaints there. It's just hard to meet women with this voice." And the doctor's like, "Well, I think maybe we got to remove the balls." And he goes, "Okay, do you think it's gonna be okay?" He goes, "Do you think it's gonna be okay?" "Yeah, I think it's gonna be okay." "All right, let's do it." So he goes through with the procedure, and then a month later, he comes back and he's like, "Doctor, as you can hear, my voice sounds great. I love it. But here's the thing. I can't really perform that well in the bedroom anymore. I got to get my balls back." And the doctor goes, "Yeah, that's not going to happen."
That's pretty funny. I like.
Isn't that the dumbest joke in the history of
but I like
jokes?
how
It's
big-
so funny.
I like how basic the punchline is. Just,
Oh my
it's not
God.
gonna happen. Yeah.
I heard some guy, and by the way, I'm paraphrasing, and I don't even know if it was "that's not going to happen," but it's the fact that the doctor had his voice. So what we're assuming is that the doctor heard about how good his sex life was and then took his balls.
Strapped on his balls. Dude, actually, I missed that. I didn't even realize the
It's
voice
insane.
side of it.
I was thinking it was even more evil, where it's like, this just keeps happening to dudes.
Like it's
So he's like,
pandemic.
I got my balls removed, so I got to find someone to give me their balls.
I like how you said that was the dumbest joke, and we both misunderstood it too.
Well, but I mean, it's like it is a hyper stupid joke where it's like, yeah, this doctor met a guy who's got big balls, wanted to fix his voice, and then when he came back, just to do the voice, and that's the whole. I mean, but this was on like a Carson episode. I'm like, I gotta watch some.
Yeah,
more
did they get
Carson.
that? I didn't realize they got that edgy on Carson.
I didn't either.
Do you watch like all the Carson stuff? Like
No, but
the
I really
PBS doc?
I enjoyed the channel because it was like this menagerie of like names you've heard from your past, like Anne Margaret or whoever, and then it'd be like Dom DeLuise and fucking Sid
Ed
Caesar,
Asner.
Ed Asner, and you're like, oh yeah, them, or it'd be like new stand-up Steve Martin and than some like fucking old actor who like Laurence Olivier and Weird Al, and you're like, okay. But it was just fun and interesting, and a ton, like an era that we don't know
and have no context for what their personalities were actually like. We know them through this like weird whatever was their biggest moment prism. Yeah, I like
and
that.
we know, and we don't know it, but we know that there was nothing bigger than Johnny Carson at the time. So like to go into it knowing that, and to be like, oh, I'm listening to something that 75% of people with a television were watching that night. We're watching. Like that's kind of heavy.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
and how unproduced it was. It was just people kind of bullshitting on a couch, as opposed to now where it's like you get in there, you tell your story about pulling a prank on set, then you plug the movie, we watch a clip, you say you just had a kid, we move on. Like this was just like Burt Reynolds
just shooting shit.
Yeah, you know, where you're like, this is kind of going nowhere, but Johnny's just letting it ride.
Have you done those? Have you done like Fallon or Seth Meyers? Or
I did Seth Meyers. I've done I never did Fallon. I never did Kimmel. I've done James Corden twice, and my joke is that I want to be the first guy to have been on 3 times and never gotten past the 3rd chair.
That's funny.
Like, I was like, if I could just just stay where I'm at.
Consistent.
Don't put me in the middle. Don't put me next to James. Just the wild guy on the outside here.
Right.
But I don't know if I can say this. Maybe you guys can cut it. I'll text him and find out. But Adam Devine's going to host Ellen. They've been doing like guest hosting.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to go on because I'm promoting this Netflix show I did for Shonda Rhimes. It was that's coming out in February called Inventing Anna. So again, not hanging out with my friend, but business calls, so might as well. But it'll be fun to not talk about boners, like to try and not talk about boners or farting or
have you guys discussed that? What are you going to talk about?
No, I haven't even talked with him about it. My manager called me and was like, so Adam's hosting and we're going to get you on there and you can talk about Inventing Anna. And I was like, oh my God, we're just going to, I'm imagining all we're going to do is talk about how we need to be on our best behavior and not discuss anything and just keep saying, you know, just best behavior. Weather's great. It is, sun's finally coming out. That's all we need to talk about.
But watching you guys repress, like, probably those wry smiles you'll have trying to, like, not go there will be, I think, really entertaining.
I mean, and now that I've said that bit, we're not, I mean, you know, you guys know. It's like you think you have a bit and then you're like, we're not going to do that bit. Or like you don't even remember to do the bit. But yeah, it'll be hilarious to be on daytime talk. But yeah, those shows they're fun. I've done like, what's the Today Show? I've done that.
Good.
Oh, that's fun.
I mean, not Good Morning America, but the Today Show.
Dude,
right. That'd be fun. There's
It's
just
a
something about
whirlwind.
the NBC, the whole thing.
Dude, you go in there, they're like, stay here, because it's a 3-hour-long show with like 12 guests, you know, whether it's like the person who's like, this is what you're buying for Dad this Father's Day, and then it's like, actually, this medicine has been devastating to the country. Great. And then you have on like, there's so many people that come on. It's this circus, and the people who host it are unbelievable because they download all the information to talk to you about your show, and they're super personable. Like when you're talking to them, you're like, yeah, no, I did go to University of Wisconsin. Like, yeah, oh my God, like how'd you know that? And like they're connecting with you, and they're like, hey, good luck on the movie. Hope to see you again soon. And then you peace out and you see them turn over to like put an apron on and like put a hat on and like make pancakes with some guy from wherever. And you realize that this is their everyday.
Right.
And they download all this information and then they just like get rid of it. I imagine. I don't know how you could hold it all.
No, you can't.
And then the next day download again. And yet they still are like Al Roker is like a fucking G. He's like, how you doing, man? All right, cool. You know what I liked you on? Mindy Project. That was fun. And now I don't even know if he ever saw it. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. But like, I was at ease. Roker's talking Mindy Project. And now we're there talking about whatever else. And
That's
like,
cool.
They're fucking good. Those shows are crazy.
Dude, if I could do Today's Show during Christmas time with like all the things.
You got to get on with Hoda. reach out to
Oh,
Hoda. I bet
Hoda.
Hoda would be a huge fan. Hoda
Dude.
is fucking cool.
Dude, I'd kick it with Hoda for
Hoda
sure.
and that hour that they do, Hoda and
Aren't they drinking wine?
Is it Kathy
yeah.
Lee still or no?
No, it's Bush. I don't know which
Jenna
Bush.
Bush?
Jenna Bush. They are fun. They're loose. They're having a good time. There's no pressure. Yeah, you gotta reach out to your people and go. We gotta get on there.
Can
They
we
would
kick it with
love to
Hoda?
have you
Dude,
guys
that's
on.
good advice.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah. Hoda.
Yeah, maybe when we're promoting this
Yes.
thing, we'll
100%.
do that.
Hoda.
I think that's a better fit for us too.
See
than
if
the
you guys
late
can
night
get
ones.
a week on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, I appreciate that, man.
A
Yeah.
week with Hoda.
Certainly ask.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's cool. She's a rad lady.
Dude,
Woman, person.
she is really cool. I've seen her in. She did Mike O'Brien, the writer performer.
Yeah, super funny
He
guy.
used to do that like 7 minutes in heaven thing where he'd do stuff out of a closet.
Right.
And like the built-in thing was that it would make the other person uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You couldn't make her uncomfortable.
No,
she
she
just
wasn't
hung in the pocket for every part of it. It was all right. Well, before we get off here, I was wondering if you try some beef liver. Chad's a big beef liver guy,
Mm-hmm.
and we have some jerky style of it. It's
Right.
supposed to be really good for you. I don't know if you're catching that odor already, but Chad, you ready?
Yeah, let me know if you... Oh, am I doing something?
Yeah, we're all doing it, dude. This is
Beef liver.
new tradition.
Yeah, you're gonna get all the B vitamins, vitamin A, all the Ks.
You look a little skeptical. You good?
Well, I just don't know why there's such a build up to it.
Oh,
Can
'cause
I pull the
Oh,
part
'cause-
piece out?
Yeah, because it tastes
Yeah,
like
because
shit.
it tastes like shit. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
It's not good, but it's good.
You in?
Yeah.
All right, cool, man.
That is rank. I saw. Okay, got it.
So Chad eats it raw. Well, dude, bigger piece than that, my friend.
Hold up the piece you have. Damn it.
Yeah, you gotta get like
I'm
a
gonna
full
get two now.
Dorito,
No, it's not just.
I'm gonna have that
it's
one.
not a do as I say thing. I'm in.
a full Dorito.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Double taps.
All right.
So this tastes horrible, but you eat it all the time.
Once a week.
What does it taste like? Just fuck
Metallic. Just
Oh, really?
Just
And this
lots
is
of
dried
iron.
out beef liver.
yeah.
All right. Uno, dos, tres.
I hate this. I mean, right off the bat, there's no taste, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's when it mixes with your saliva
Oh God.
that it tastes like dog food. And the story behind that is that when I wouldn't eat dinner growing up, my parents would go, "Fine, why don't you eat dog food?" And then I'd be like, "Fine."
Oh, you would actually eat the dog food?
And I ate dog food.
Nice, dude.
I told you guys, Stayer tried to save me. That is not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
What if you eat like just regular liver? If you
Yeah.
like cook it, dude.
Yeah.
This
It-
is
it
better
just-
than that.
Yeah, because they got flavoring and I would
Onion, yeah.
yeah.
And I'm not like, by the way, I'm not like Mr. Weird Food. Like my sushi limitations, like I don't like uni. I'm not that guy. I don't like eating those like seaweed chips. That like just can't handle it.
Straightforward roll guy.
No, I like sashimi, but I don't like eel.
Unagi. It's my
Yeah,
favorite.
I like to just get that slice of fish and.
Love it.
But that's not that bad.
Sashimi's a nice word to say.
I don't want more.
You sure? You don't feel a stoke from it? You don't feel a boost?
I do get a
My
boost
stomach
after
is
every time.
definitely my stomach's definitely like at attention. It's like
What's going
it
on
feels
here?
prepared. It's like what's going? Yeah,
Dude, nice. Yeah.
It's like you're a little castle town and someone from a country you've never heard about just rolled in, and everyone's like, "Who's this new guy?"
mm-hmm. It's a little bit of that. Yeah, that's definitely gross. But I'm shocked that it's not. It's okay. Yeah.
Maybe next time we go raw.
Yeah.
That's how he eats it raw,
Why?
and it's like a bloody organ.
My brother does it, and I try it. And
Bill?
Mark,
Dude, good memory. Dude.
and
Mark's younger or older?
older,
Are you one of 4 boys?
3, and then I have 4 sisters.
I thought you had a younger brother. No.
No.
2 older brothers and 9
Um,
younger sisters. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, but it's just it's supposed to be very nutritious for you,
Mm-hmm.
and I legitimately feel like a boost when I eat it.
Dude, I feel it right now.
I feel
Yeah,
it. I know what you're talking
I
Yeah.
feel
about.
stronger.
Yeah, and the next day I feel happier. it's like a thing. I don't know.
Keep us posted.
This is my problem, is that like, even if tomorrow I wake up and I feel great, there's no way I would make myself do that.
But you wouldn't sacrifice like 10 minutes out of one day of the week to get that boost.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. And, you know, like, maybe that's sad.
No, I think you're just a normal dude.
Well, we were talking about this before the pod. You were saying you don't like these guys who are like ultra on about like, you want someone who lets go.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the context of this is like to see these people whose lives are like uber dialed in. I'm just like, you seem ultimately boring because, or maybe they're ultimately fascinating because the demons are so fucking hardcore.
Yeah.
And they're putting on. But I like guys who show up late by accident or have one too many beers in public, and they're not just like fucking so dialed in.
You want some messiness.
Well, because I'm just like, are you constantly thinking about that all the time? You're always thinking about yourself, kind of, in a way, as opposed to just being like, oh, fuck, I forgot. I had 5 beers. Shit. Whoops.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Someone who's like uber self-conscious or like, you know, they're always minding themselves. I don't know. It just seems kind of weird.
Interesting. Yeah. I do think it's the latter for me. I am fascinated by those people because I think about like underneath that like behavioral focus, what caused that?
What is the drive?
Yeah. What were you born that way? Did
Right.
something happen to you?
Right.
It almost feels like there's like a yearning to be human in it that I
Right.
think is like really profound.
And like, and by the way, some of these people get like crazy successful and stuff, and like they can harness that. But then you're always like, but are you doing this because you enjoy it, or are you just chasing that void?
And are we the only country that fetishizes those people? Like I read books about CEOs. Does any other country read books about CEOs?
Yeah, I'm sure like there's some people in Japan and Tokyo that are fucking
That's the
Korea.
one other one though. That's the one other one. But like, does Norway do it?
Probably not as much, just because there's like shame in that, where it's like, dude, chill. I mean, Norway has its own problems and stuff, but
I'm not familiar.
But yeah, they're the people who are like, hey, they don't keep score for kids' sports until you're in like high school, and it's free for everybody, you know. So like, the competitive thing is not. They're trying to go be anti-competition until
Until it gets real.
until you're an adult, and it doesn't. So it doesn't kind of dictate you're mature enough to handle competition. Whereas if you're a 4-year-old and like your parents are telling you that you're a loser because you kept like losing, then you're developing yourself or your practices or your beliefs when you're too young or too immature to understand it, right? And then by the time you're mature, it's too late. You've already got your thing.
It's too drilled into you.
Yeah, you know. So they wait till you're mature enough to go, oh, okay, cool. Like we were just having fun, but now we keep score? Sick. Or maybe they all keep score. I mean, my kids are hella young, and they didn't keep score in their soccer game when my kid was 4. But after every game, he'd be like, it was 6-3. We fucking destroyed them. You know?
It is hardwired into us.
Yeah.
And I am skeptical of people like...
Because they watch adults keep score. So they're like...
But I don't know. I think maybe we just... Or maybe it is just you're a product of your circumstance even at that age. But I do think like the people I'm most skeptical of are the people who are like, when you're in a competitive context and they're like, I'm not competitive. I'm always like, okay, you're so like life competitive
right.
that you can't even like acknowledge it in this moment because it would mean some kind of judgment on you.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. People are cool though. We could talk about them forever.
We did. I think we did it.
Yeah.
This was a great one.
Did we clock this?
Dude,
This is
I
the
was
longest
looking at it.
podcast
This is the
we've
longest podcast we've ever done. I think we're at 5 hours.
We're
Wow.
basically like a bunch of Joe Rogans.
Dude, I think we just put Joe Rogan
On
like
his ass.
he's gonna see this and he's gonna be like, "Fuck." He's gonna take like 3 alpha brains that day and try to best his time.
You guys are gonna cut this to 38 minutes. Yeah. It's gonna be so tight though. No lulls.
This is gonna be all
Super-
bangers, dude.
Oh man.
Greatest
Super
hits.
punchy.
But dude, I can't thank you enough.
This
for
tastes gross
Yeah.
now.
Dude, the aftertaste is ridiculously long.
Yeah.
It hangs forever.
Yeah, but you're like, that's where the power is.
Dude, I like it.
Get your sponsorship, man. Are they sending you this shit for free?
That guy actually hit me up and he was like, hey, do you want to do a promo code? And I was like, I want to do fucking.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, but you like say like, hey, buy these. With my, I don't want to do that.
No.
Really? Are they gonna kick us some?
No, he wasn't.
Business mind kicks it. So
I mean,
what are you doing?
I mean,
Well, I just feel like it's so in line with your with
yeah,
who you
but
are.
the idea was like that, like shout them out
Right.
on Instagram, being like, hey, buy these
no,
liver crisps, and then use my promo code, and then you get a kickback of those profits. But
no, that's no bueno. No, but we'll shout it on the pod and then just kick us some straight up jing for it, dude.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want someone to talk about how gross their product tastes?
Dude, yeah. This tastes like shit. Try this, dude.
It tastes like shit, but you feel great the next day, maybe?
That's funny. Yeah, sorry.
Well, yeah,
dude.
thanks for having me, man.
Dude, it was such a pleasure, man. Thank you for giving us this time and for...
Hey, next time, we're not even going to record anything.
Bro, that'll be fire.
No one's going to know what we talk about, where we are, the Grove.
It's very Nordic of us.
Yeah, we should wear Kingsman outfits and get cocktails.
Dude, the suits are like $2,000. The shirts are like $600. It's crazy.
Maybe we'll hook up with some of this.
Mountain Hardware. Get these guys some jacket shorts.
Mountain Hardware.
Come out.
G us up and then we'll wear
They're probably sold out.
Probably.
Yeah, but dude, thank you so much, man. This was so much fun.
So fun, dude.
Anytime.
Great to see it. Great to see you in person too. Last time was Zoom.
Hey, man. Last time on Zoom was just okay. I hadn't even met you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here we are. And I was here last week. And we had we didn't have a false positive. We had a legit positive COVID
Aaron
test.
popped positive. He
Yeah.
thought I was joking with him. I go, Aaron, you're positive. And he didn't say anything. I was like, that's weird. And there's, I thought you were joking. And I'm like, nah, bro. I wouldn't joke about that.
But he parties, so everybody knows about him.
That's the thing about Aaron. He's at the discotecas every night. You know, he's making out with different people. And I love it. That's who he is. But, you know, you got to be careful in this time.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet, man.
Pleasure was mine.
Pleasure was mine.
Dude, pleasure was mine.
Ours. Yours.
The pleasure was pleasure.
Yours, dude.
Loosey goosey.
Have you ever been on this long of a podcast?
No, this is the longest by far.
And best.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Were you checked in the whole time, or did you have to take little breaks?
Very much so. Yeah. This is great.
Good.
Oh,
Dude,
nice.
thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
that
me.
voice too. Thank you for that contribution on the voice.
Of course.
Didn't hurt. Did not hurt.
Additive.
Totally
additive.
Is there something you want to say to the Stokers before we depart?
Don't take for granted what these guys give you and provide for you on a weekly basis. As you heard, these guys joke, like, try not to be pretentious, call themselves artists, but they are artists. They put this is their time and they're giving it to you. Don't take it for granted. They won't be doing it someday and you're going to miss them. So follow tight.
Dude, that was powerful.
Wow,
man.
thank you, man.
And I know you guys do appreciate it, and I appreciate that you appreciate it. But dude, that was beautiful. Thank you, man. That was really
true,
generous
man.
of you, dude. Dude,
It's
thanks,
true.
man.
R.I.P. John Madden.
Fucking A, man. What he invented the word doink.
Did he really?
That's a Shakespearean contribution to the vernac, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, he to describe when a ball hits the field goal post.
He
goes,
doinks it.
He goes, he doinked
A
it.
doinker.
And he just came up with that.
Yeah.
Dude.
And a legend in 3 different facets of his life.
That's
Wow.
Coaching, broadcasting, and video games, dude. 3 things I fucking...
Didn't he play football too?
I don't think he was a pro player. But I heard this you used to watch Real Sports on HBO at like 3 in the morning?
Yeah.
This might not be true because I remember it from when I was 7. Dude broke into his house, put a gun to him and his lady, took him into the garage to open the safe. John Madden looks like he's opening the safe, grabs a shovel, puts it on the dude's head, incapacitates him, saves the day.
Nice.
Fucking sick.
John fucking Madden, dude.
Unreal.
I would pay someone to fake that, like Churchill did with his prison breakout.
Right. Maybe he'll have a movie. Who would play John Madden? And then we can go off of that.
Albert
Or
Finney.
I'm not here to tell you guys when we go.
Is he dead? Albert Finney.
Albert Finney.
He's dead.
He might be too old to play.
Brian Dennehy.
Dennehy's gone.
He played Bobby Knight. Yeah,
Denny-
both guys are dead who I just named.
Yeah.
Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a good one.
That's really good. Yeah. Are we going to beat Brian Cox?
He'd be great.
Yeah.
It's a doinka.
But-
Fuck off.
That's not like an Australian.
Fuck off, you
Oh, you
doinker.
know who could be young? And this would be a cool role for him to like pack on some pounds is Kurt Russell.
Ooh.
because Kurt has like a wide face, you know, and he's got eyes that are engaging, and I feel like Madden had eyes that were kind of captivating. And then when he was a younger guy, and maybe I'm thinking of the hockey movie that Miracle, where they had the kind of the same hair. I don't know. I feel like Kurt's got that gravitas where he could whip you into a frenzy.
If we want the bummerific version, Jesse Plemons.
I mean, I don't know if that'd be bummer. I bet Plemons could rise to it.
You think he'd bring the zhuzh?
You saw him in was it Date Night or Game Night?
No,
How
I didn't
funny
see that.
he was.
Was he funny in that?
I'm not trying to shit on anybody else in the movie because it was pretty funny. He's the funniest dude in the movie. Funniest like part of the movie is him.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah,
I've never seen it. I heard it's good too.
Yeah, it's fun. Good.
I've seen it, but I just don't remember it.
Yeah, it's not memorable. It came out in the post-memorable movie era, you know, where like you can't remember stuff.
It's just escapist.
Well, I mean, it's just content. There's no like moment that is gonna be remembered from any comedy post Bridesmaids. Yeah, like shitting in the street, and what since then?
Don't think it exists.
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
think that was it. I wish I would have known when I was in the theater that this was the end of a thing.
I knew.
No fucking way,
yeah,
dude.
and I gotta go now.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna end on that part.
I knew, and now I gotta go.
Get out of here, dude.
If you need advice, these guys are really nice.